We rolling nice and high.
We
Rip.
I don't know if we have audio, but we are live.
We do podcast. Very good.
So I am going to That's nice. And that recording is going to be recorded on the recording because that's weird.
What?
They recorded the
That's
recording to see if the recording was working on recording the recording.
And if that made sense to you, you win tonight's game of
What? WC, W-U-T.
Meh? Meh? I don't understand. And we will go say goodbye to our theme music for a second, but we hope you enjoyed that never-ending song.
The song.
All right. Welcome to the podcast, Probability of Demise. This is episode 9. That means we have our Big 10 next week. We are an actual play tabletop role-playing gamer crew composed of pandemic friends, our pod.
That went so much better this time. Well done.
Practice, practice, practice.
The good news is the internet was basically out last week, so nobody heard us screw it up twice.
Oh man, right in the middle of the next word. I gotta remember. We play in a world of our own creation using Dungeons and Dragons as the system. There are other systems out there though, so don't be afraid. And I got distracted again. I'm Rurik. I would like to apologize for our puns and memes and continue on with again, I'm Rurik, acting as Dungeon Master, also Lost Cause.
Hey, what was your name again?
I don't remember, but who are you?
I'm Larissa, and I play Trixie, anthropomorphic.
Wait, you gotta do the scroll out right. Try again. Take 2.
Squirtle?
Yeah, that
No.
kind of. No.
Squirrel.
Okay, so who are
Squirtle.
you?
I'm Asher. And I'm a poet laureate wannabe who with delusions of grandeur.
Poet douche canoe. Official title.
All right, for those of you who are listening in, flip those 2, and I'm not telling you what to flip them. And Jess, who's not here, has departed us for a long period of time to become a circus clown.
He's not a circus clown.
She's at our lion tamer, and you know what? I have decided just now in this second that as long as I remember it, which may just be this second, that every time I introduce her, I'm going to introduce her by a new circus role.
Any role that isn't the one she actually is.
Oh, I called one of my kids Ringmaster because they were being bossy. So, welcome to our podcast. I don't know that we have any announcements, but does anybody have any announcements?
I get yes. I mean, that May 22nd soon enough.
Yes, that's within a month. I
Okay,
feel like that's,
okay.
that's solid.
It's actually not.
It's
not?
20.
20th today. Today is 4/20.
Oh my gosh, it's the 20th. I hope you all got your taxes done because you in trouble or you delayed them or whatever you needed to do.
I hope you got your taxes done and you're smoking something that you do on 4/20.
Okay. May. With that transition, I really hope this.
If you're
group-
local to New York City and you enjoy choral music, Melodia Women's Chorus of NYC is performing on May 22nd at Church of the Holy Apostles. That is a Sunday. If you are interested, just Google Melodia Women's Chorus because I can't remember the website right now.
I feel like, and it's in some of our previous episodes, I'll try to put it into the description later on. But I feel like Melodia Choir, not every member, but a good chunk of them wouldn't have minded being plopped into an announcement on 420 Day.
Melodia Women's Choir NYC.org.
That one.
Ooh.
And some of the music that we will be doing includes music from Linda Ronstadt, Carole King. We've got some Dolly going on. We've got some other folk music. We've got a gospel piece. It's a little bit outside of what we normally do, but we're trying to put together a really fun and lighthearted program for the spring.
Do you got the funk?
No funk, unfortunately. Not this
Got the
time.
funk.
But there will be choreography. So watch us try to sing and clap at the same time and move. So if you don't come for anything else, at least come for that. Because there will be entertainment value in that as well.
You missed my 20-year-old movie reference.
I did.
I'm talking about the funk.
We're a case that movie.
I do not. I didn't say anything negative whatsoever.
Do you even know what movie we're talking about?
Yeah, they
Not
do.
a clue. Don't know.
They do. They really don't like that movie.
Stop eating the chips. I can hear it.
All right.
I'm not eating the chips. I'm grabbing chips.
She's eating it. Ready, set.
Now I'm eating
1,
chips.
2, 3.
Oh. Well, with that,
Any bones that need breaking?
this is not a Foley show, but it's about to be. Apparently.
We have half a bag of chips. This village is in trouble. We're gonna break a lot of bones.
Yeah, and if you ever really want to
Time to crack some ribs.
get a veggie chef, a veggie chef to cook your meat, not
Okay,
meat.
last one, I promise. Last one.
Well, why? Oh my gosh, you didn't even crunch that one, so now it's like a safe one. You're holding it. You're gonna let it get soggy. Okay, everybody, we're gonna maintain silence until she. Oh, dude, you broke the game. Okay, stop crunching. You're gonna gross out our audience of 0, and we're never gonna get. Oh, actually, we got one person watching.
Mine says 3. One of them is me.
Mine doesn't say.
Hello.
Hello, welcome,
Not you.
people in the world.
You, not you.
When I look at you, it looks like I'm looking at them.
Yeah, that's how. Like when Jess is there, I have a much easier time of looking into the camera. I notice because she's actually there and I'm looking at somebody. When she's not there, it's
Do I
really
need to
sad.
print out a photo of her face and put it on a stick?
Yeah, because that's not creepy at all. All right.
No, but it'd be funny as hell.
So, any news from Storyland or anything?
What?
Yeah. Okay. Good. Solid.
You want to give a? You just
Word of the
finished
day.
that second book. Did you want to give a review?
Not off cuff. Nope.
Wow, we're really rolling here. Word of the day. Anybody?
It was as good as the first book.
Jess, come back.
I know.
I need you.
Let's see. Word of the day. Word of the day. Word of the day is
But donk.
no. The word of the day is hamburger.
Hamburger?
Hmm?
Is that what you said?
Yes, but with a French accent. Hamburger.
Oh! Do you hamburger? And the
All
bacon.
right, I feel like that wasn't any different than Badonka at this moment right now because my brain.
Oh, really?
isn't working.
Really happiness? That's what I thought.
Happiness.
In France,
Is
is it
quite lovely.
hamburger?
No, you just don't say the H.
Hamburger.
Hamburger.
Do you say
Did you just say booger?
Booger.
ERs?
A.
Hamburger. Hamburger. Hamburger.
Hamburger?
I'm sorry if you are French or have a French accent or anything like that. We don't intentionally set out to be.
No, we're not meaning to offend anyone.
I'm sorry if
And
you're
also,
a hamburger and we've been making fun of your name for the last 40 minutes.
It's
I
just.
can't tell time.
Shall we?
We're moving on.
Shall we?
I made
Embarque en une story.
I made Beyond Impossible burgers for dinner. We all had them.
God. They were really delicious. If you enjoy our show, please like and subscribe. I say after all of that mess.
It's all of this and also 11 minutes of D&D.
If you really love us, you'll hit the bell icon so you'll be notified of our live streams. If you really, really, really love us, you'll share us with your friends. Now,
But only with our permission.
You have our consent to share us with your friends.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
All right, to save us all, I'm just gonna play our music wherever it's starting and wherever it's ending, just for a moment to like just deal. All right, that's enough of that shit.
Brain power.
All right, so last time when you were gathered together, you actually managed to accomplish quite a bit. In the not too distant past, you had arrived in a small town, farm town, with a few goals set up to check in, more or less, see if there's anything that needed to be righted, or to like basically prevent the deterioration of the farming relationship with Overton, as well as move on from this space to future endeavors, which included reaching out to a community far off in the distance that you haven't actually quite found out where exactly it is, although you do have a general idea of direction. And on arriving in the town, discovered that there are a few problems. There were guards running amok a bit. There was an influx of wild creatures right when you arrived. There's a little bit of proselytizing that seems to be anti-Overton in nature. There was a bit of a problem in terms of contamination of the lake that was causing scales and other things to appear on some of the community members.
Also crabs.
There's some thievery. You climbed up a section of stream bed towards the source of the possible contamination to discover a crab, which you flipped, and then continued up beyond the flipped and much more diminutive crab.
The river had crabs, but we cured it.
To a cave with an individual who is almost as broken as I am, and had somehow hybridized themselves with something else to change who and what they were. And a lot of notes and other things, as well as a viscous black goop that you determined was the cause of the contamination in the water. Working with your colleague Bonnie, you were able to kind of figure out a method to deal with that. Recruited some local townsfolk to help you out, some people that you'd already kind of made contact with and developed a relationship with, and then thereby going and getting access to a making facility and gaining some of their materials that they seemed very happy to share with you based on what you had shared that you were actually doing with it. They themselves seem to have the same scaly affliction, or just more progressed. And went back, took care of the problem, rested, and then I don't recall if you're still up in that cave or if you've gone somewhere else.
Yes.
We heard from Tanzanite. We did. We heard from Tanzanite.
Yeah.
A little massage.
2 massages.
Messages.
Oh. Don't remember the name of where Canyonville? Hey, I remembered something. I actually have a
Canyon City?
No, Canyonville.
Just Canyonville.
There was somewhere else that you
I might have
wanted
said
to
city, it
name.
wouldn't matter, but Canyonville, yeah.
We were giving the books that were in the thing to
Mrs.
Miss O? Miss
M?
M? Miss M. No. Wasn't Miss M.
She had a name, then we shortened it to a letter because we couldn't remember her name.
Yeah, it's Miss M at this point because her name is...
Madonna. Sorry.
Her name is Misogyny. No, it's not.
My sticky note is gone again, and I literally put it in there before I got here, and now it's gone again, so...
There it goes.
We probably ate it.
I want to say it was Mernard. Manard? I don't remember.
Maynard.
This is the problem with
Her name was Mayonnaise.
writing things down instead of putting them in digitally.
Miss Mayo.
If you ever take any of my DM advice, it's this: put it somewhere where you won't lose it. Good luck.
If you ever taken any of my player advice, it's this: never take notes and just expect everyone else to carry you.
All right. Given all that and how sweetly professional we all appear to be in this moment.
Just trying to remember if I feel like we were all very tired and we had exhaustion.
But then we rested and we're fine. Because we ate breakfast.
You slept.
Right, and we ate breakfast.
breakfast.
And that's kind of where we left
And yes, I believe that is.
off, because even though our characters had just woken up, we were falling asleep.
Yes.
Because it was like 11 something p.m.
Yeah, we went.
And I'm just an old man.
We went with a late night plot, and
We planned to play super late, so we did, but probably not as late as we planned to because we were all super tired at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock when we started.
yeah, it's a good plan to go like, oh yeah, we're gonna go late.
And then real life was like, no, you're going to be exhausted when you start this.
All right, so
Good times.
Yay, adulting.
I would say that it's morning around a campfire that you just finished breakfast at. There are 3 individuals kind of looking over at the 2 of you for guidance. Von Mayer and Bonnie. Looking between the 2 of you as you make your way into the morning day. What are you up to?
Well,
I feel like you're drunk at the campfire somehow already in the morning, and I'm not sure how that's
I've been in
happening.
the syrup.
it's that's Trixie's secret. She's just always drunk.
She's always in the syrup.
Drunk on sugar. Not Trixie. Weren't we talking about going to or take care of in some way the not mercenaries but like the guards or something?
Right.
You mentioned that.
Yes. I feel like because we're from Overton, Azure feels responsible that these bad guards from Overton are bad.
But also Trixie wrote a letter to her dad, but I don't know how long we're supposed to wait for that to possibly happen, have a result.
Why don't you really quickly roll a history check to see if you recall
Hey, Rourke,
something?
is that guy still walking?
Where's my...
No,
Excuse
I think
me a moment
didn't we
while
say he was?
you-
Oh, right, because it's 15, right?
You dice. I'm going to go find my dice. Oh, they're right in front of me. I'm totally a child right here.
Well, that's a 19, so I don't think I have a super high history, but
Well, with a 19, that's definitely high enough to recall the following.
it's a dirty 20.
If a spell is used that seemed to be jetting off super fast, cool. And yet it's still going to take time for a response and or a physical response.
Right.
How do you think, Trixie, your father would respond to the type of message you sent? Would your father be able to access someone who could potentially share a message like that in return? Or would your father go about mounting an operation to resolve this issue? He's still walking.
It's hard to say. Because it's possible that he sent someone. I guess I just don't know how long it takes for someone to travel not under a spell from Overton.
You know how
to-
this was with your history check. You know how long it takes them to sail.
Right. But I don't know if that's the way that he would go, or whoever he sends if you were to send someone. I don't know. She doesn't really have experience asking her dad for anything and getting it, so she has no concept of whether someone's even going to come, let alone how long it would take. But she's hopeful.
Beautiful, hopeful, lovely.
Useless. Hopeful, but useless.
Well, the two of you are armed with that knowledge. I believe there was another message you sent as well.
Oh, I sent one to Nee that said a thing that I don't remember.
I remember. So you also roll a history check.
Never take notes.
Not telling you the answer. Roll a history check. Your DC went up.
Nat 20. Tell me what the note said, Dungeon Master.
The world hates me.
Or just really likes him.
Those dice are evil.
That's your 20 and nat 1 dice, isn't
Those
it?
are my crit fail dice.
They roll high low, but they always roll high for something where I really want to like kind of have a little revenge tweak, and then it's like, where's the revenge in this? All right. So you've had a long, deep relationship with Nee, mostly as the kid he strung along on a whole list of random things that were technically probably trainings. But you were also at his knee, so to speak, when he directed others. Maybe you were at his head, holding his head in the toilet, but you interacted with him on multiple situations and engagements. How quickly and in what ways do you think Nee would most likely respond to the type of note you sent? A note with an update and a little bit of guidance seeking.
Right. I asked him what we should do about the guards, right? Isn't that basically what I sent?
That was part of it, yeah.
I feel like he's got like those fantasy wizard vibes where he's indirect in the way that he does things, or he manipulates people into doing things.
You don't say.
So,
I mean, that's kind of how we started him off.
so I don't know that he would actually respond with like, "Oh, here's some help," but he may like send an obscure message back, or somehow, or like help in some indirect way that's hard to understand. That's kind of how I feel.
All right, cool. Nat 20. All right. Well, that plays directly into my plot. So lovely.
You're welcome.
Scribble, scribble, scribble. Erase, erase, erase. So, yeah, you're around a campfire and you're considering how to handle the guards. Any other topics of conversation during this time? Because Bonnie, Fawn, and Mordred, Mildred, Morin, Morid, Maudry, man.
On the break, we might have to
Miss
go
them.
back and listen to that episode and find out her name.
One fast forward. What are
No, we're taking a 3-hour break.
rough? What else are you talking about, if anything, or are you just talking about that? Because the three of them don't really have much to contribute to that conversation.
Well,
I'm going to ask Miss M, what do you think should be done about the city guard? Like, she's an educated person. She must have a idea.
I don't have any power over them, so I can't. I mean, that's
But
why
if
we
you
sent
did?
those notes. If I did, I'd have them all sent away.
but then you wouldn't have any protection.
Do you need it?
Better than this.
Like, if
Well-
there were no guards and, like, those wolf things came and attacked the village, like, would the villagers handle that?
We did before. We wanted some extra help. I mean, there's like 5 members of this group who I would think have done a good job, who've actually cared about people, who've actually tried to put away criminals and not just harassed and required protection money.
Is there a way to put them? Well, okay, so here's the question. Who is in charge of them in the immediate vicinity?
It changes based on their little fight club.
Got it.
I don't even know if there's rules to it, so it might just be a whole...
If you win the fight club, do you become the captain of the guard?
I don't know if it's captain or just that they listen to that person more than they did before.
Because I know someone who's really good at fighting. She's in a gang. She's really strong.
Ooh, are they nearby? Can we hire them?
Eyes just shift over to Trixie.
I don't know the name of the gang, but I guess I'm in a gang. Oh, wait. I think I missed initiation, though.
Yeah, like I was saying, somebody who can actually...
I mean, I can actually hit things
She can fight.
repeatedly and very fast.
She's small, but she's scrappy.
Well, I know small people can be... But... She's...
You're not going to hurt my feelings. Anything you could say, my dad's probably said worse.
You see, now I just feel bad for you.
And?
I think that's where the rage comes from.
You go into rages?
No.
Because
No.
some of them do.
Yeah, no, that would make sense. I've seen people who do that. That my dad was in charge of, but they also become predictable and stuck.
She kind of makes eye contact with Fawn for a second. They both shrug a little bit.
I mean, if I challenge whoever the current leader is to a one-on-one fight for control, then
I'm not sure that's exactly how it works, but...
Is it like an all-out brawl, or is it a one-on-one, like... Oh, hey,
I know, but none of us really go to it, because who wants to go watch a bunch of idiots fighting?
That's fair. Who would
But-
totally ever want to do that?
I think I've offended you again, and I'm not
No.
sure how.
No, I'm not easily offended, I promise.
Okay, well,
The only person who recently offended me was one of the women down by the docks who was offended by the fact that I was fuzzy.
yeah, I mean,
It's not like it's something I can help, so or change.
the recent scale rash
Mhm.
thing has made people really sensitive about, how do I say this, differences that make them look less human. So while your humanity, I'm sure, is assured,
Mhm.
you look differently enough from the folk around here.
Ah, oh, got it. They're bigots. Got it. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's a them
disagree.
problem, not me.
I still like you.
Cheers. Should I go try to kick someone's butt now?
I guess we got a couple hours of a hike, but yeah. And unless there's anything else, I will fast forward us. All right.
I'm gonna help carry or push the wagon or whatever.
The
Yeah.
cart thing. Yeah. So the five of you in the cart make your way down. Again, returning to the town, things don't appear to have changed very much, except when you walk through the gate past the very drunk or possibly hungover, or maybe even both, guards that are right there in the shadow of that space. The townsfolk make eye contact with you, and eye contact with you and with Bonnie. They nod to you. You see some smiles. And as you make your way up to the bookstore where the cart is being stashed for now, you even get a few tentative greetings, quick introductions, shy smiles, and a couple of young people even come over. Are you the saviors? And then run off before you even have a chance to answer, giggling.
What did you tell people
I didn't tell anybody anything. It wasn't me. I didn't do it this time.
this time?
This time.
What did you tell them last time?
Well, I don't know.
What did you do while I was asleep?
A lot of things while you were asleep. I helped get a boat unstuck. I stopped a guard from robbing an old lady. I told you all this. You didn't believe me.
I'm not sure I still do, because I don't believe that you can push or pull a boat anywhere.
I didn't. My invisible friend did. Dug it out in the mud.
Invisible friend. Okay.
And my giant magic hand. Never mind. I'll show you some other time.
Okay. I'm going to go into the bookstore quick and check on the little feral cats and possibly feed them food and try to work with at least mine a little bit, if not.
It has been more than 12 hours since these cats had supervision.
Mm-hmm.
They were locked away in the back room,
Oh dear.
but there are presents. Both fecal and ripped.
Can you
You can hear
Yeah?
Miss M and Fawn putting away the cart outside.
I would be like, prestidigitating away the cat poop. I don't know if that works.
It's definitely going to take you a while.
Okay, I'm gonna be like,
The smell might actually be more of a problem at this point.
the smell I can prestidigitate.
It's taking some time. It's still being fed by the poos.
Let's see here. I'm gonna say, the silence you hear is actually the sound of one hand clapping. And I'm gonna summon my mage hand. Then it'd be like, mage hand, take that poo outside and dispose of it in a garbage can somewhere, not here.
So the hand swoops down, starts picking up pieces of poo, gets a nice chunk full, because it can hold up to 10 pounds. And you watch 10 pounds of poo tap against a window.
Can I open the window?
Please do.
I'm gonna open the window. I'm
And
just gonna
then
leave it open for the breeze.
and just starts plopping poo.
See, I told you I had a big magic hand.
Okay. Can you fix the stuff that's broken?
No. They didn't break any books, did they?
No.
Okay.
That was in the other room.
Maybe we should give them some money.
Maybe.
Bonnie walks in. They're so big. They've grown so much. Hi.
Yeah,
Nope.
you have to teach them. They don't naturally just know that you're friendly. You have to.
I spent so much time with them. You would think
Well,
that this thing would.
I give her some bacon. And now break it up into little pieces and then use it to, when they do something you like. No, don't. Well, I mean, you can. But it's for
You see the cat just go for it because
Bacon's bacon.
Yeah. they're very hungry. All of them are like crowding around her.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna
We're terrible pet owners. We should feed these cats.
I'm working on it. So they're not gonna eat her, are they? So-
Bonnie screams, "Ah!" Little cats, alien style.
Okay.
No, they're not.
And is it still morning or is it like now we had a couple hours? So maybe
It's
like
been a
more
couple
lunch?
hours, so it's definitely
Okay.
hitting afternoon.
I'm gonna
I hope
go
that was
to.
Bonnie's dice and not the cat's dice.
I'm gonna
It
roll.
was an animal. I had to
I
check,
just saw
check
Rourke
for her.
rolling
She
down
was not
20
great.
over there.
Oh,
I'm
that
gonna
was not Bonnie's. That was
run out.
something else.
I'm gonna run out
Uh-oh.
to like the nearest food stall and buy what I assume is probably fish.
Yeah, fish is in plentiful supply.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of other
Forms of protein.
protein products. Honestly, even in Overton, Underton, there's not a ton of protein products. It's a luxury item. It's hard to raise animals and keep them in
Yeah.
an environment that is
But
different.
I specifically, if they can, if they have some left,
Yeah,
to get raw fish, not cooked fish.
It's only raw.
Okay.
You're not going to get cooked. This is not that
Fresh
sophisticated.
fish.
Yeah, it's a little bit more like fish. Fish. It's
Possibly
alive. Fish.
fresh. I want to get like 3 of the biggest ones, and
Yeah, it's 4 silver.
Okay.
And yeah, you successfully have fish.
Do you need money? I think I might be carrying all of it.
I have like what I started with.
Okay.
So Miss M comes in and just goes and sets up the front counter. She's very much focused on getting ready for the day, having camped out overnight and trying to pick up business, whatever there is. You honestly have not seen a lot of business in this space, but she does not go to the back room. Fawn, however, does come to the back room and she makes eye contact with you, looks at the cats.
I just shrug, hold my hands up.
Not my kittens. But you might want to make scarce. Did a good thing. They did a naughty thing. At least they didn't poop all over the place.
Yeah, good thing that they're super house trained.
Yeah, you probably want to get them out so they can relieve themselves before they explode. And then she just kind of looks at all the ripped up fabrics and... She's not going to like this.
We could pay for it.
Look, it's not going to be that. Use some of the credit you got. So, don't mess around here. And she goes about busily, like, kind of trying to tidy things up. But she's kind of, as she's doing that, she kind of stares pointedly at you, the cats, and the door. You, cat's door. You, cat's door. You, cat's door.
All 3 cats are still in here? Okay. Bonnie's still here?
Yeah, Bonnie's, like, still trying to, like, feed and play with the cat as it's nipping
I'm
at
gonna,
her.
like, grab some cats and be like, Bonnie, we should go for a little bit.
Okay. And she picks up the one that seems to have bonded with her the most, and it's just like chewing on her finger. She rolled really badly on her handling. And she's like, okay, and follows you.
How big are these cats now?
They were just like barely eyes opened, but they've definitely gone through a bit of maturing in the few days at sea and then a couple days in town here. So they're getting, well, they're filling out.
Getting frisky.
Filling out, they're starting to get naughty, but they're not like truly, like, they stumble all over the place still. They're at that stage.
Oh. Who's a good boy?
Where do you end up going?
I don't know. Outside. That was where I was directed to go.
All right. Yeah, at about that time, do I meet back up?
Yeah,
at
easily. Especially since she's just standing right outside the door with these cats.
Um.
One's chewing on Bonnie.
Okay.
You feel, since you uttered a few times, a jerk on both arms as both cats lunge towards the fish in her hand.
I'm just gonna
Just
let them go because cats land on their feet. Hopefully they don't crash.
You see them both tumble, and
Oh god, I killed one.
they both fall flat on their backs. They're kittens.
Oops. Sorry, guys.
And they just kind of like roll themselves upright because they're also kittens. Bouncy as their fluffy furs. And
I'm gonna
kind of race up to your shins.
Yeah, I was gonna toss one, but I'll just I'll throw one a little bit that way, and throw one a little bit that way, so that they're not like fighting over it. And then I'm gonna like hold one over to Bonnie and be like, okay, take this one, but take it away so that they aren't fighting over it.
Yeah. They're growling to themselves contentedly as they chew on it. The whole mess. It is not the dainty kitty that you might imagine in your dreamlands. If you were a cat person, this is not that moment where your cat delicately picks at the fancy feast. These are ravenous little wild cats that are going to grow big. So it is definitely a little bit more exciting than that.
What I am gonna do is go to, I think I had the smaller one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna like just keep like inching a little bit closer and closer, so that it's comfortable with me doing that. And then I'm gonna like start like I'm gonna put my hand backwards, just along behind right here, to pet it.
Roll an animal handling check. You know that was what was coming.
I did.
You were trying so hard to give yourself advantage. I could hear it in your voice.
No. This is just what I would actually do.
It's that one.
It's the other one.
Monkey Tuckers. I was all excited for this moment of growly kitty versus furry squirrel.
What can I say? I have an animal magnetism.
But
So we all witness absolute animal joy, and the cat, for a moment, stops eating its feast that it's so hungry for, looks up at you with approval in its little, tiny, barely more than a week opened eyes, nods at you, judges you as cats are supposed to do,
and then it says, "You're all right, kid."
and resumes eating. But it allows you to continue petting and seems unconcerned about your actions. All right. What are you up to? You gonna go pet a kitty that's eating food?
No.
I'm not gonna tempt fate.
I think Asher's not as comfortable with the kitties as everybody else is.
No. You can see that Bonnie's hand has been like pretty worked over and she's got scratches, and she's kind of like she's fed it the fish, but she's just not engaging right now. The growl it made when it first bit into a chunk of fish was enough for her to be warned off in a pretty serious way. All right.
It's probably weird for her given that she's kind of a fish person.
She's literally watching a creature she might have considered a cousin being devoured by a creature.
That's your
of the
friends,
land.
not food.
I want to be like, "You okay there, Bonnie?"
Just.
Sorry.
She looks at her hand.
This is what cats eat. Sorry.
I'm a little bit nervous about this. What did she do to me?
I think you two are linked. Not sure how.
But it eats my.
Doesn't eat you though. They all
look
do.
at this hand.
All babies do that.
Not
Is her
my
hand bleeding?
people's baby. Yeah.
I would be like, "I saw you bleeding around town like an injured fool," and I'm like, "Haiku, healing word."
Wow. Oh, that was painful.
Oh.
I've been waiting for 2 weeks to use that one.
Oh my god.
As they get worse and worse, it just gets better and better.
My heart hurts.
All right.
I think my soul died a
Tell me
little.
what the heal is on that.
7.
Okay. She actually did really appreciate that. And you can kind of see the profusely bleeding wounds stop and staunch themselves. Oh, thanks. I think we're gonna have a long distance relationship.
Well, I'm telling you, if you use food, obviously it's something they like and want, and you have to reward them when they do something good.
We just rewarded it for this.
Well, no, they had to eat. There's different. There's food and then there's rewards. It's different. Bacon is a reward. The fish is like breakfast to them. Does that make sense?
No.
I think Bonnie may be concerned because she's kind of fish adjacent.
She'll be fine.
At least it wasn't a cousin. Okay. So
They eat other meat. It's just we're in a fishing town. I can't do anything about it, Bonnie.
teach them to eat seaweed. It's safer.
Cats don't eat seaweed.
They should.
They're not. They're carnivores.
These words are weird. Okay.
They're hunters. They're not what? They're predators. They eat other animals. Wow, did you not have anything in the lake like that?
We did. You saw them on the lakeshore.
Mm-hmm. What did they eat?
They ate us.
Mm-hmm. That's other animals, right?
No, that's other people.
So those people were cannibals.
No, they're not our people. They were their people.
Okay. So, but you consider yourselves on like an equal level, right? Even if you're not the same.
No, they're scary monsters.
But are they people or not?
Yes.
Okay. And you're people. So you're also, you're on the same, there's a chain. And at the bottom is like algae and plants. And then above that are the things that eat the algae and the plants. And then above that are the things that eat the algae and the plants. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but people shouldn't eat people.
Cats don't eat people.
She holds up her hand again.
They're babies. They chew.
You land creatures are so weird.
Yes. But I'm telling you, you just have to keep with it. I mean, look at this one. It's not eating me.
Because you're both furry.
That has nothing to do with it.
It's furrism.
Okay, I'm gonna reach down and pet that cat.
That's near you.
Yes.
Roll your animal handling check.
Wait, I don't have guidance. It's not a nat 20,
It is a
y'all.
dirty
It's
20.
not a nat 20.
It's only a dirty 20, not a nat 20.
Could be worse, Rue.
Sorry, Rory.
No, it's just I feel badly for Bonnie, who's got two land creatures succeeding so well with these animals, and every roll she's had with this cat has been horrible.
Even with my advice, you couldn't get advantage with the bacon?
No.
Well,
She was
okay.
already at disadvantage. You got her to neutral.
Okay.
Yeah, you stop and there's some growling, and it's not the dramatic like checking you out moment that this one had, but definitely the cat seems just fine with you petting it, even lets you scritch its rough where a lion's mane might be, and continually purr growls as it's eating away at this fish, decimating this poor little fish. I eat fish. Okay. You have other things to do. Bonnie's kind of stuck in this horrified stance, but you have other things to do. Are you?
All right, I'm gonna go. Is there any guards around?
Go ahead and roll a perception check to see what you see around you.
11.
You don't note any guards. You can hear kind of a clop of something kind of walking in a bit of formation an alley or so over. So you kind of have a sense there might be a guard over there. And otherwise, you just see townspeople. There's actually been a couple of people kind of occasionally looking up at you, smiling shyly, and then looking down, whispering to each other, looking over at Trixie, hands going over mouths.
I'm gonna go over to the nearest person and be like, "Where do I find this place where the guards fight?"
uh, you're asking me.
I am.
Are you following him over, or are you just watching him from a distance?
I'm watching from a distance.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna put this cat, or if I'm taking it with me.
Are you? Or, there used to be a town square, and it's been kind of turned up into their little fighting pit.
Oh, I don't like that at all. All right. Thank you.
You don't? Okay.
I don't like that they turned your town square into a fighting pit. That's not nice. That's probably like a gathering place that you would like hang out, right?
I mean, it used to be, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You don't.
I'm gonna go
You
back.
see their eyes just get huge, and as soon as you can kind of turn and walk away, you notice this definitely. They both dart off in different directions.
Town square.
Okay. Are the cats done eating?
It takes them a little bit longer, but then eventually, within like 5 minutes, they're bloated, sated looking. There's still some fish left over, but they it's actually just like cat.
I'm gonna lean in that window I open and be like, "Fun. The
They're
cats are sleepy and they ate. Can we put them back in?"
You hear a muffled, "Oh, you better have some place to keep them, because this is not juicy." And then the thrust out, kind of shredded looking, ragged, what might have been a dress.
We should maybe figure something else out. Is there anywhere I can pick up some lumber?
Is there anywhere we can buy a cage?
I don't want to put them in a cage per se.
You see Fawn's head stick out a little bit, and it's like through the window, and you can tell that she's like trying to hold frustration at bay, but also kind of bemused at the two of you.
Their mother was dead and we found them. We didn't know what to do, so we took them.
No, I get it. You're both
I'm sorry they ruined your house.
heroes. And when one is being heroic, you just do the things that are heroic and good, which saving some cats is just really the two of you. I'm actually really glad I don't know your friend right now, because I feel like the three of you would be trouble. So,
Lumber.
yes. I'm trying to think. I think you went to the Lye Works.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what they use is the cast-offs from the lumber, which is just a couple of, maybe like 200 meters up from there. You can tell because there's lumber and pre-lumber trees, knocked over trees with marks all over them.
Okay.
Smells of sap, smells of burning.
Can we borrow the cart?
Oh, please.
Okay.
Borrow the cart. If you see any nice dresses, which you won't, because this town has nothing, and it'll be a while before we see anything from Overton, I'm guessing. So, yes, please take the cart. Buy me a dress. And yeah, do what you need to do. Thank you very much. I apologize for being short. I should have thought about this before we headed out.
We probably also should have thought about this. So, sorry. We'll be back.
Wasn't going to say it. You just hear her muttering as she turns back in, and you can hear like as she turns, she kind of forgot that the window was being propped up by her, and it just slams down, and you hear a muttered curse.
Hey, Bonnie, can you watch them for like a little bit while we run and go get some stuff to make them a place to be kept?
I promise they won't eat you.
I'm gonna give her some money. I'm gonna give her there's still some food left, so if they get hungry, there should be this. But if you need to go get more food, I mean, you can try and give them the seaweed,
You're
but
gonna leave me alone with them.
they're sleeping.
As she sighs, roll a persuasion check.
Would you feel better if I go by myself and Asher stays with you?
I could go get the lumber.
Do you know what we need to get?
No. You could tell me.
Well, how about Asher, will you stay with the cats while Bonnie and I go get the lumber?
Oh boy. I suppose.
Okay. I just think between the three of us, I've done woodworking the most, so.
Great. Good luck. Hope you live. Bonnie starts heading off in the direction of the lightworks.
I grabbed the cart and I'm
I'm
carrying
just
it
gonna
along
like gather
behind.
up all the kittens and like sit against the wall of the bookstore and take a nap.
Really quickly, with all these fainted, dead away kittens, just roll an animal handling check. This is not a super high DC. This is actually not terrible at all. But I
Good,
just
because I got a 7.
Okay. I just wanted to see if they would wake up and do anything terrible to you, but that was high enough. I didn't have to do anything ridiculous. Got to make up for Bonnie having the suffering, though. So you and Bonnie quickly make your way over there. You've been to the Lightworks. You can see from the Lightworks an area of, now that it's daylight, just like a working area. People chopping up trees. Specific pieces are being set aside in different locations, and you can see the ones that have been, you understand, are dedicated for the Lightworks, but there's other piles for other purposes of some sort. There's a sorting, some method to this madness. And they're just working away, creating raw wood into something more usable for building or for farming or for whatever it is. There's a lot of stakes. And it looks like a lot of work has been put into stuff that looks like it would be what's made at the docks. Like, whatever they've been doing with the docks has been a recent massive undertaking.
Hi.
Hey! Hey! You look like one of those. That might be rude. Nice to see you.
Hi. I need to get some lumber. I have to build a pen for my cats.
Cats. Okay. How much are you looking for?
There's 3 of them, and they're pretty big cats, and I don't want them to be, I want them to be able to kind of, move about inside. So like, think of like,
You don't have like numbers?
no, it was just something I just decided to, why don't we do maybe something that would be, let's say 5 square feet, and 5 cubic feet. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And maybe with that would only allow for like maybe 3-inch gaps in between each piece of wood.
All right. I'm not going to do your math for you, but I can point you to the right materials.
Okay.
Cats, they're not that strong, so you'll probably want that stuff over there. And he points to like some 1 by rough cut 1 by 3s that are very much like of a thinner than one nature, because it's very variable. It's like most of the materials that you've experienced. In Overton, you may have experienced the highest qualities in material, which these are definitely a downgrade from that. This is the rough stuff that a farming fishing community uses. They aren't doing precise things. They aren't doing massive, beautiful builds. But it looks like functional timber, and you.
Is there anything a little bit stronger than this, or is this the
Oh,
stronger
I
one?
mean, you want stouter material, and it's gonna be more costly. But he points over, and you can see what looks like 2 by 3s, just a little thicker than 2, until different points where they get a little thinner than 1. But it's much thicker, stouter material.
Okay.
It still seems to be made of a flexible wood, though.
Trying to think. So it's by 3s, you said? 2 by 3s. So there would be 4 of them in there would be 4 of them in a foot, and there's 5. So it would be 2 so I would need
Are you gonna check her math?
10.
For fun, why don't you just roll a d12?
Okay.
If you get a 12, you get exactly what you need. If you get a 6 or higher, you get plenty to do your project. If you roll a 5 or below, you end up short, and whatever you create is going to have some quirks.
Okay. 8.
You got exactly what you need.
Okay.
All right. He asks for some money at first, and then one of the people come up behind him and goes, "Is that the? Are those the? Dude, you can't make them pay."
No. I mean, I just tell me how much it is. I think I can pay. I might be able to pay. I don't have all of the money. I could maybe, if anything, I could give you half now, and my friend can come bring you the other half. He's just watching the cats.
Yeah, you do look familiar.
People always tell me I look like my mom. Do you know my mom?
You're the only furry one that's been around, and so the stories have to be about you.
I guess it depends on the story.
Hey, thank you. And he just goes in for a big hug.
How big is this person?
He's definitely twice your height, if not more.
Where's my face?
About knee level, but you're being brought up quite quickly.
Okay.
Oh, you're such a sweet. I can't believe such a small package did so much for us already, and I hear so many great things. You know, I heard a rumor that y'all are going to take care of the guards here, and I also heard a rumor that they were going to fix the trade system. Oh, and did you hear that they're going to? There's like 2 of them, and they're going to deal with the den of thieves. Well, although you know what, my son's kind of like caught up in that, so maybe that's not such a good idea. Thump, 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 and there's just bantering back and forth.
I would love to if you could just put me down so I could breathe.
Oh, I'm sorry, kid. Yeah, I got a little excited.
That's
you know,
okay.
good to
I
have you here. It's just you're and he kind of does the like big person to little person bad behavior of just noogieing you. Oh, you are the sweetest, and yet I can't even believe that you've pulled off the things that you've pulled off. Actually, now that yeah, you definitely were playing in the lie. Oh man, you really are something.
yeah. Unfortunately, smells do kind of stick to fur, but I am out of my soap. So I haven't seen any lately, so I'll need to get more. But yeah, so how much do I owe you for the
No,
the-
no, no, no. Saviors of Fisherton do not pay.
Are you sure? Is there nothing else?
We deal in trade mostly. The only people we pay money with is folk from Overton, and you're not an Overton. You are Fisherton.
Oh, oh, okay.
Through and through, and he goes and reaches over to do another noogie.
Please,
roll
don't. Just because it.
Roll a dexterity check. Your DC is 18, by the way.
Oh, jeez. And this is just
It could be a saving
just a
throw.
check? Are you sure?
Dexterity saving throw if you want.
It's a 13.
Yeah, you get noogied, but it's quick and over with fast because you squish out of the way.
It makes my hair.
Ah, to be young, enthusiastic, care about the world, you are a special, special person.
Yeah.
All right, off you go. And he starts throwing the lumber into your cart.
Okay. Thank you. Ew.
All right. You've been hanging out in front of the bookshop with some cats taking a nap.
Taking a cat nap.
Could you just roll a d12 for me? That's beyond cocked. Ooh. Okay. Roll 2d10s.
Oh no.
Well, this is playing so well into my little head cannon. That's a d10.
Okay.
Yep. Flying saucers. Okay.
Is that a 1 and a 10?
Mm-hmm.
Went both ways with that one.
Yeah, 1 out of 10. You come back.
And I'm dead. Murdered by cats.
What is your passive?
Passive what? Perception?
Mm-hmm.
94. No. 13.
Okay. You come back. And as you're dragging the cart, taking turns with Bonnie, who's being very helpful, trying to make up for the fact that she tried to scoot out of this thing and trying to be like talkative and make up for it. What's your passive?
16.
Okay. Bonnie notices first. And she just stops holding the cart and starts giggling. Oh no. And then your eyes track where hers are, and you see Asher asleep, snoring peacefully. 3 cats curled up, sleep peacefully, and a gaggle of 11 children all sitting and just watching him. They seem to have created a kind of defensive bulwark, kind of checking behind themselves to make sure nobody comes and disturbs your napping friend. But it's also kind of creepy.
So we don't need the
11.
wood. We have this child playpen for the cats now.
11 farm fishing children clearly shirking duties that they should be doing. Old enough, some of them, to be actually contributing to their households. And some of them too young to really be out here at all in the first place.
Have they seen us?
Not yet.
Can I try to sneak up and like, just because I'm short and wait, like come up and be like, what are we looking at?
Roll a stealth check.
Not gonna go well. 18.
Bonnie's gonna try to also. Ooh, all right. The two of you just barely beat the children's DC of 17 because I had them roll for that. That was my fun. They had rolled a different stealth check for creeping on him, which was much higher, but this one was just a 17. Yeah, you are easily able to sneak up on them. And what did you say again?
What are we looking at?
But like that's what I'm gonna do so that it makes
the
them jump.
kid you come right up behind seems kind of like the least attentive of all of them, and just screams, "There!" waking up the cats and you, clearly failing their stealth check at this moment. And the other kids turn and look. And for a second, it looks like they're all going to bolt. And one of them more clearly makes out who you are and who Bonnie is. It's them! And there's this mad rush as some kids run away and some kids run towards you. And you're kind of faced with fleeing 5 and a charging 6, who all look really excited.
This could be bad. I am going to charge at the kids that are charging at me, and I'm going to jump and try to somersault over and land behind them.
Okay. Roll an acrobatics check for that. That's fun.
Oh no!
There's that one. There
That's
it is.
all I've needed in my life.
There it is.
I told you it was gonna be bad. I knew
So,
it. I knew
The
it.
kid's dexterity check wasn't very high either, but not a nat 1. So here's
My
what I would
acrobatics
like
was
to
plus
paint
7
as the
too,
beautiful
man.
picture is that you go charging and you're like all excited to make this leap over them. And you get this moment, this beautiful moment to witness this as Trixie, normally very dexterous and able to do anything that Trixie wants to do, trips over her own foot, sprawling out on the pavers. And then the kids, in turn, try to halt and turn their charge to not run over her, only to sprawl right on top of her. And now it's gone from the charge of children into the dog pile with one little squirrel at the bottom. And Bonnie just standing over everything with the cart. Is this a different custom I'm not familiar with?
I'm just like,
Nope, I just. Oh, that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, she's soft. You could feel somebody.
Don't
like,
touch me.
No! Ow! Stop kicking me! Oh, Maurice!
I just try to like wiggle and try to get them off so that I can at least like.
It's an
Start to
adorable
stand up.
dog pile that slowly devolves into you standing and brushing yourself off, and several children who don't seem to want to lose contact with you physically, but it's more like they're tugging at your arms and. Are you gonna? But
You can hold my tail as long as you don't pull it. Gentle.
You hear the slapping of hands as like several of them try to like grab and like slap each other's hands out of the way. And then slowly, peace descends. And like a line of kindergartners from the 1990s, holding on to the rope to go on the little walk to the playground, you find yourself at the head of a line of the younger 6 from the 11 that had been there. The other 5 kind of looking back nervously and slowly edging their way back over behind Asher.
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
hi kids. What are we doing? Yes, it's true. I am.
Oh. Wow. Like 3 hands let go of your tail.
So, what are you kids up to?
We were protecting you from the thieves, and we weren't really going to protect you from the guards, but we thought we might slow them down and...
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Speaking of guards,
I have to do this first.
okay.
What are you doing?
Well, okay. I think you're a little bit too young to help me with a lot of this, but you can try and help me with some of it. if you guys work together, if you can carry some of these pieces of wood out behind the bookstore, I'm gonna build a house for the kitties.
One, kind of the biggest girl in the group, just steps forward and just, I got this. Shoulders a bunch of the wood material, and you're kind of like, at first it's like you're taken aback a little bit, and then kind of like looking closer at her. She's got a leather apron on, and she's got tools. Come on, I'll show you how it's done. She walks back. And all the kids just kind of seem to follow her lead and start grabbing materials. And so the cart is empty very quickly. And there's this troop of kids. Nobody's touching your tail at this moment.
Okay. I'm going to follow them over, and I'm going to take out my carpenter's tools. And I am going to attempt to build a 5x5 pen with... I think if I do like a stake kind of situation, I could do like a door that ties shut. But in terms of like how I would engineer it, since I don't have nails, is I'm thinking like trying to do log cabin
Lincoln log
set kind of where the vertical ones have the grooves, and the like it would just be straight up squares. Like, it's nothing fancy, like your cliche jail, as it were. But the horizontal bars would be complete, and then the vertical ones would have the grooves, and they would alternate which side they are to maintain pressure.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So what I would like you to do is I would like you to roll a wisdom check with proficiency, since you're proficient with your carpenter's tools.
Does she get advantage because the carpenter's daughter is there?
No, but the carpenter's daughter might be there to save from something.
Tried to help you.
Wisdom check. Okay.
Wisdom check
With proficiency.
with proficiency.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Cool. Yeah, so yeah, you're able to get together, and as you're building it up, the young woman, the other kids trickle out. Once you get busy with work, they came here to avoid work, and now they're seeing more work at hand, and so they kind of all slowly trickle away. But as you're working, she starts to pitch in and participate, and she even starts taking some material and creating little wooden dowels and boring holes to like really help with the joists and stuff like that. And as you see her offering that idea in, you're kind of, the two of you are getting to a good synthesis. She rolled a natural 20. And between the two of you are actually like creating a fairly robust cage platform creation thing, but a place for the kittens that should be enough to hold them for a while if you, as they grow until they're too big for the space.
Yeah.
But yeah, easily able to do that. It does, despite the high rolls, it does take a couple of hours to get it all put together. Is there anything that you are up to, or Bonnie is up to during this time other than watching kittens?
I am playing my drums inspiringly. What'd you call him earlier? Bing dings?
Bonkas?
Badonkas,
Yeah.
bongading.
Anyway, he basically has bongo drums, like little pocket bongos. He's playing those, like portable bongos.
Awesome.
All I can think of is that
Shel-
Big Bang Theory
Sheldon.
episode. I'll show you.
Can one of you, doesn't matter who, roll 2d12s?
You roll one, I roll one. 5 and a 7.
Okay, that's 12.
It's the same as 1d12 rolled really well.
The encounters. Can somebody roll a d20, please?
Crit fail. Oh,
Okay.
I got like a middle of the road roll on that dice. That doesn't happen very often.
It's above a 10. That's all I needed. Below a 10 was a certain situation. Above it,
But out of 10, we get murdered and thrown in the cat cage.
sure.
Giving them ideas.
You, as you're playing and you're working, you can tell that somebody's watching you all. Think with your passive, you're quick to notice this. You're a little hair behind. You're focused on your music playing. The young carpenter with you is totally oblivious. But you see two of the guard watching what you're doing. They seem to be watching what you're doing. Ah. You're pretty good with that.
Yeah, my dad taught me.
Yeah. That's a good skill to have. At this point, you look up, and it's the two guards that you met who helped carry away the individual who was not being kind to the world.
And the two that saved her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, guys.
Oh.
Hey, Cap.
Hey, guys.
Ah. You know, you were a highlight day or two ago.
Thanks.
Good people. You were unconscious.
She's better.
I'm glad to see that you actually don't just lay in dirty puddles.
No, that's not usually how I like to spend my time.
Well, good to see you. Well, just checking in.
Hey, I'm glad we
to
ran
see you.
into you. I would like to know your opinion on the guard situation in this town.
Roll a persuasion check.
16.
Things could be better, but overall, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good. So, you know, but things could be better.
Like the absolute truth is the only thing I need. Start talking, okay?
What's the save?
Zone of truth is 15. Yes, charisma 15.
You see one of them start to just fall under, but you can feel the other one completely resists it. And the one who resists it goes, "No, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here," and begins dragging his friend.
Come on, guys. I'm trying to help you. We can make it better.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. And it's dragging his friend away.
Hang on. Son of a bitch. Where are you, spells? I need to organize you better. I'm going to say, I don't have any spells written for this. I'll say, hey, you, come back here. Don't you want to have some friends? Let's talk about it. I'm going to charm person on the one that's dragging the other one away. It's also 15.
That's cocked. Okay. You can feel them like get pulled and turned, and the other one's like, "What? What are you pulling me back and forth for? I don't understand what's going on." And as he turns and starts kind of dragging his friend back to you, you can see the one who Zone of Truth did affect looking very confused, and the one who didn't, their face is kind of slack in this moment.
All right. So our understanding is that the mayor was supposed to send guards, and then he sent, I think you two are probably real guards? Like trained in Overton, sent here to do a job?
The one who you've charmed just kind of remains slack, trapped between being pulled back by this spell and the resistance to the other one. But the other one kind of just looks around confusedly. We're real. They said we're real now, so we're real.
Okay. So you two seem like nicer guys. Like moral, decent people. But also yesterday I stopped another guard from shaking down an old lady for money. So there's clearly some problems here that we want to try to address.
Again, there's like that pull, and you can see the person who's trapped between the two, looking distinctly more and more emotional, but like in a way of like kind of like almost oppositional. But the other one who's kind of looking at his friend and just looking back, he's like, try not to talk about the others. What did you do to my friend?
All right, I'm going to drop the charm person.
Uh,
I don't like that I did that. I just really needed you to stop and talk to me, so I'm sorry.
he lunges at you. In a second, you can have a reaction if you want to have a reaction. And the first words out of his mouth are, "You're under arrest."
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go over very well for you.
You just tried to take control over us. Both of us.
No, I didn't.
The other guard.
I didn't make you do anything. I charmed you, but I didn't make you do anything, and then let you go.
You totally tried to control us.
No,
You're
I
one
tried
of
to make you tell the
those-
truth. That's not the same.
That is still the same in my book.
What law did I break?
It doesn't matter. You're going in for this.
Nope. Tell me
He's
what law I
starting to
broke.
manhandle you and trying to put you in, so he's going to do a
I'm
grapple
going
check.
to struggle.
Okay. It's contested strength.
3.
Oh, God. I thought he was going to lose because he rolled a 6. He only has +2 to this.
I have a -1 to this. So.
Nice. Oh, that's even better. So, like, from the outside perspective, it looks like the one who's just getting over this charm situation and stuff is just like struggling for fumbling to like restrain your friend. But he's struggling even more. Maybe his hands are tired from drumming or whatever it is. But it's very clear that the one who's claimed that he's going to arrest him is succeeding and has restrained your friend or has grappled your friend.
So here's the thing. We're just trying to help, and we can't do that if you arrest us. Because if you try to take him, then you're going to have to try to arrest me too, because I am definitely going to try to stop you.
The one that is not currently, but it was under the effect of the zone of truth. Let's see. Ma'am, I wouldn't get involved in this.
Asher all of a sudden goes, "Oh shit! I just remembered what ACAB meant."
And I just kind of look over at him, and I'm like,
I think I'm doing that right now in real life.
listen, I understand that he may not, you may not approve of his methods, but we're not, like, nobody got hurt, and we're not trying to, we're trying to help. We're trying to make it so that you don't have to worry about those other guards anymore, so that you don't have to be afraid. We want to make this a better place.
Roll a persuasion check. It's technically with disadvantage right now.
Persuasion.
All you have to do is beat a 13.
I don't believe I'm that charismatic. Come on, come on. Eek. No, it's just a 10.
Ma'am, You can't go around doing this. You can't go around bullying people and taking control of them. That's exactly
That's
what
what
the
we're
guards
trying
are
to stop
doing.
your
all
guards
over.
from doing.
And
You
it's
let everybody
exactly-
else do it, and you're going to arrest me?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
So he's still continuing to restrain you.
Maybe if you weren't such a fucking coward, you wouldn't have these problems in this town. You ever think of that?
All right, now you get to roll an intimidation check, which may not have the results
That's
you
in that one.
He just totally does the cop thing of ignoring you and whips out some restraints and starts manacling you.
Please don't make me. What can I do to make this better? How can we resolve this right now?
We're not going to solve it right now. We're going down.
Who's in charge? Who's going to judge him?
Nobody's going to judge him. He's going to go cool it off, just like all the other idiots who try to pull off this garbage do, overnight, and probably have to pay a fine.
Can we just pay the fine now?
He's got to cool it off. He's already insulted me.
Well, you kind of deserve the insult, so.
You get a kind of cuff on the shoulder. Knock it off, you.
Yeah, abuse the prisoner. Yeah, good job.
Asher, you're not helping.
You
I
are
saw that.
definitely restrained. Those manacles are tight. And they're going to
Asher.
start trying to march you off.
I think you just need to go with this for now.
All right, but if I get murdered in jail, remember who took me.
Is he safe in jail? Can you put him where he's not like being kept with other people?
We don't put anybody with anybody. A bunch of idiots in there.
And is there going to be someone?
It's not the other prisoners I'm worried about.
You don't have anything to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
There's only really 4 guards on duty in this town, and all 4 of them really do their job. Think anybody else sits and watches people who've been doofing off? Now they're down hustling young women, like you said. Kind of see Asher being marched off unless you're
I
following.
should turn you into a sheep, but I'm going to let it go.
He just chuckles at you. I'm not going to put it past you, Wiggler.
Guess I'm under arrest.
Okay, we're going to go on break. Unless you had any last thing you were going to try to pull.
I'll make you a deal. If I go take care of the guard thing right now, will you let him go so he can help me? I was gonna go fight.
You do not want to fight.
I don't want to fight, but if that's the only way that we can fix what's going on.
Look, lady, you should just come down here and get these ideas out of your head, and they kind of gesture you to follow them as they're trying to march Asher off.
What did I do? I'm not under arrest.
If you're going to do something stupid, like go fight the other idiots that are in this town, you need to hear a few things.
Tell me now.
And they're marching Asher off. They're not going to wait around.
All right. Well, I will see you at the fighting pits then.
Okay.
Do they have like a badge or anything?
No.
Like,
keep in mind that this is like a post-apocalyptic
I know.
situation. Like,
I just wanted to ask for a badge number.
even oh, nice. Even Trixie's parents, the uniform is very loose. Her father, by dint of his position, has more of a uniform, but many of his guards is merely they have a color that matches their unit. That some of their pieces have been dyed, but she even knows like most of the recruits don't even get armor. It's not despite it being a larger town that is more successful, there isn't the advanced pieces of like what we consider modern day law enforcement behavior with regard to law enforcement. It's very much a Daggerfall, if you remember ancient video game lore, where the guard runs behind you for half a day and says, "Halt, halt, halt." Slowly depressing voice as you vampire your way through town, murdering all the people. But with all that, I'm going to go ahead and move us to our break. We have a half an hour break. And I hope you enjoy my version of how to create items for your D&D campaign that are unique and as interesting as the players you're playing with. I talk for a whole half an hour because I'm riffing for time. And we really need to get some new intermission stuff up in our world. Hello and welcome to another random intermission. I needed to fill the content here so that I don't have to edit the audio later. So of course, that's why I'm here, and that's why you're here. Because I'm giving myself extra work in order to be lazy. I really haven't figured this out yet, have I? So today's topic is brought to you by that random item I just shoved in somebody's inventory. No, this is a fun topic actually for me. I really enjoy this. It's when you get to create a custom item for a character. And it's a fun thing to do as a DM, so definitely do it. But also it's a collaborative piece. You get to collaborate with your players, think about what they would enjoy, and then they discover the thing that you created together, which just makes it that much more fun. At least I find it to be fun. Now, in the Dungeon Master's Guide, there's a pretty restrictive rule set. And then later on in Xanathar's, it's a little bit more open, and as you continue to progress and use more and more of the tools out there, you kind of get opportunities that make it much more fun to create items. But there is a formula of sorts that you can tweak and tinker with for creating and constructing an item. Now, characters themselves can create items, and so this fits with that as well. And you can kind of like play out the role play piece with it of how are they finding and discovering their formula, and then does it require any spell casting abilities to craft and create this? So using up some spell slots in that way, even if it's not using the traditional use of a spell, it's just kind of playing into that piece. And again, for the character creating their own item, they might go and hire it out. They might have a mage or a party member help them out with that piece. Then there's character level limits that you can place in there that kind of create how effective they are at whatever they're doing. And there's the materials, the tools, whatever proficiencies they have, and also just like what location. You might decide that the item requires being forged in the heart of a volcano, and so they have to travel to a volcano for that forging process. It has to be quenched in the river of tears. It's a grand adventure, so I think it's a really fun thing to do. Overall, if you go to the Dungeon Master's Guide to page 129, see, I got the numbers in my head now, actually. Any common item should cost around 100 gold piece to create. And that can be the hiring of the person, that can be the components, all those different pieces. And it's a minimum of 3rd level to do it. And then I think it's 4 days to actually craft that. And if we take that idea and we kind of play with it, and that's kind of how we scale and build up the generation of an item, we can get to some really cool ideas here. So we can have uncommon items, and according to that table, which again, these are very strict pieces, it's a 500 gold piece, 3rd level, 20 days. Rare, 5,000 gold pieces, 6th level, 200 days, so almost a year. Very rare items, 50,000 gold pieces. So this is on the level of having a fortress or a ship or something like that. Have to be at least 11th level, takes around 5.5 years. And then legendary. Legendary is like the life commitment for the creation of this type of item. 500,000 gold pieces, which is a ton of money. 17th level minimum, 55 years to complete. Now, in the storytelling piece, you might mitigate some of that. You might have them purchase components that have already been created or have stuff that they've been creating as they've been going and use that to mitigate the number of years. Maybe there's a hilt that is 2,000 years old that already exists that they're crafting a new blade for, and it's going to become a legendary item in the end. So it doesn't take them 55 years. But when you have like a year or two of downtime planned that is going to be fast forwarded through, you can kind of set up the situation where here's your opportunity to make a very rare item.
or a rare item. And I really love that as a piece of the role play, but it also could be like literally a character's sole pursuit. They're a craftsperson seeking their great one piece, and their whole reason for being on this adventure is to eventually craft this item. And I feel like even though the DMG says that's a 55-year pursuit, they've been pursuing it already for a long time, and they're going to probably continue refining it later on past the adventures. If your adventures take over the course of 5-10 years, it's okay to shorten the number of years it takes to craft it. So all that to say, you can be flexible, and I think it's a good idea to be flexible with this type of thing. Now, I said that that's the player creating it, but what I was really trying to talk about was actually the DM creating items. And when you are having players create it, think about how this affects the economy. Are a bunch of people hired in this space? What are the benefits of the item? Is it going to complicate things in a way? Like, really think through what your story type is, and just be aware of that. Now, when you pull out Xanathar's Guide to Everything, the rules for crafting are a little bit more open-ended and a little bit more fun. They also guide your storytelling, because you have the formula that they have to create their item. They come up with the formulation. It might be something they created. It might be something they found in a book or whatever. The materials can be a component of that. Like, exotic materials might reduce the amount of time, because finding that skin of a Yeti, which I think that comes straight out of the Xanathars, but like let's go with something different. The skin of a Hydra and the tears of a prehistoric beast of some sort. You created this really fun space to kind of like track down and hunt things, and the gold costs and the time guides are still in existence, but the gathering of materials can like play into this whole thing and make it really fun and interesting. So now with the Xanathars, we shortened everything down to work weeks. That's like a common only takes 1 week work week, uncommon take 2, rare take 10, very rare take 25, so like a half a year-ish, and then a legendary item takes a year, which can be more doable. And then that's just the work being done, not the adventuring necessarily to get it done. So then you have a year-long hiatus after they've done a bunch of adventures and they've crafted items with those materials. So it's a fun thing to play with, and I like to be very playful in that space. Now in the DMG, I think in the Xanathar's Guide there's a table for possible complications. I like to make up my own complications in that space. I think in Xanathar's it's rumors about what you're doing, and it's a threat to the community. Your tools are stolen, so you're forced to actually go through the process of buying new things. You got a wizard who shows up and just wants to observe you. Well, how do you play off that? How do you play with that? What does that do? That's a nice little fun role-playing thing. A noble wants to buy it straight out, and they don't want to hear you say no. Maybe a clan, I think it was a dwarven clan, but I feel like that plays into a stereotype too much. But I think a clan of crafters accuse you of stealing secret lore for the work, or that there's like some competitor who's claiming that you're just doing shoddy work, which I love, these like fun ways of spicing up the situation. And if you have like a rival in the art of this craft, that can play into a lot of bigger things. Maybe the next arc of your storytelling is unfolding because of the rival, and the rival going to somebody else, or I don't know, whatever it is. It's fun. There's also information about scroll crafting, brewing potions, selling magical items, persuasion checks, all that stuff. And I think it's really fun. And I also think it's a place for a lot of creativity that doesn't follow the typical encounter, downtime, encounter, downtime, encounter, downtime. It gives a very player-centric, overarching quest. especially for somebody who doesn't really know what personal motivations their player has. Like, introduce the idea, like maybe there's something that they're really interested in obtaining, and that's part of their world. So there's also the formulas, etc., all the different things. There's the acquiring of things. Tool proficiencies are really fun because I feel like Smith's tools, you can make a case for using that more typically, but like Weaver's tools aren't very frequently used. But why do you have a background as a Weaver? What tools did you use, and are you trying to come up with a new invisibility cloak or something like that? Just like giving those things like alchemy or glass blowing a different use than the application of that knowledge in a specific circumstance. I just feel like who wouldn't want a jug of unending water, and you became a potter just because you wanted to mass produce those and become known as the unending water jug producer, if that could be a way of saying that. So anyways, really fun thing. I like to run like construction challenges, some roll-offs for that, or like have a set of instructions for a step in a formulae that they found, have some things that seem contradictory. It could be incomplete, but I just like it to be contradictory. And then they have to either make a decision as a player about which set of instructions to follow, or they can do maybe an arcana check to see which one makes the most sense, or whatever. But if like, rather than having the roll determine that it's not going to be succeeding, I like to have it become like a little flaw or a quirk about the item. Like in the process, in one step, you have to infuse the waters of happiness, and but there's also a part where it says you need to boil them off afterwards, and you're like, well, why would I infuse and then boil off? So you skip the step due to the roll of the boiling off, and now it has a sensation of rushing water whenever you heft the axe of water flow. I don't know, whatever the item is. I just like having something fun that the players can play with and use in their role play. There can be like emotional requirements, like confessing a dark secret to the item that is then trapped by the soul that you had to use for the creation of this timpani of happiness. I keep using the happiness a lot, but just I really find these to be a lot of fun. At any rate, you can build up all these different components. You can have some unexpected things occur. Maybe it is more potent, so that actually, like, because of the process they went through, you set the item spell that is used one level higher, which is always a fun bonus. Or maybe it's just extremely durable and can handle being bashed about, so it has like a little bit of a unyielding tendency or something like that. Maybe they mucked up one of the things, they used an alternative item that they found and they thought, this might work, and now the gloves of shielding are slightly slimy on the inside. Just something fun and entertaining. So when it comes time to create an item, I feel like the best items are the ones that you homebrew. They're just more fun. They are a great way to tailor it. Now, the worry is that you might make something that's super powerful, but honestly, as part of the role play, it's also part of having a relationship with your players and saying like, hey, if this is too overpowered, we need to work together on kind of backing it off a little bit. We might have to put some instances of leveling where they can and can't do certain things. I, as a player, often hobble myself with regard to tools by instituting a little role play piece. Like, I don't trust an overpowered weapon. And it's just fun. Anyway, first thing is, if it's super powerful, it should be legendary. If it's like ridiculously powerful, and that means it's requiring more time and gold, and also like price it as such. If they're going and buying legendary items out there, it should be cost in time and gold that is equivalent to what that item should be worth. So like handing out legendary items left and right doesn't make sense unless the players are really engaged in something that causes them to have that expenditure. Components. If there's not a specific spell, which you can just steal the components from a specific spell and have them embedded into the item in some special and fun way. But if it's not a specific set of components, you can actually come up with some fun things and play those in. Like certain spells, such as Minor Illusion, require a little bit of fluff. And if they have a focus, they can just cast that. But for the item, we need to somehow incorporate the fluff into the item. So maybe their cloak of funky faces that changes their face for a minute into the visage of someone that the observer character recognizes and thinks of as a friend, maybe it has to be lined in fleece. And as the cloak is used, the fleece becomes a little bit more worn. And eventually, at some point, they know that they're going to have to restore the cloak by sewing in a new fleece lining or something. Just flavorful and fun. Not necessary, but I like doing that type of stuff. And then if you have something that you don't know what the components might be for it, some effect that you're going for magically, be a little tongue-in-cheek and come up with something fun to do with that. It's just a great way to play with it. So let's take this idea and think about effect and output, like damage or just whatever is going on. You might have a player who wants certain abilities, and an item can solve that or give the player those items. And it's really up to you as the DM to figure out how to make it function, how it should function, to build it. So I'm going to build with you a item, and we're going to kind of like work together on what it would look like or not look like. So I'm going to pull up D&D Beyond because I love the way in which this tool just lets us create homebrew content. And when you're doing this, maybe your first piece, you don't build from scratch. You build with an item that already is in existence. So when I look over at magic items, I have the choice of viewing ones that are already out there or creating a homebrew magic item. I'm going to create one, but I'm going to create one based on another item. So this first one that I'm going to do with you, I want to create it based on, what's a good one? Oh, let's do an invisibility thing. Invisibility, cloak of invisibility, beautiful. Now, I want to have this cloak, I want to have all the components of it, and I'm going to hit create here. So I'm starting off with the layer of the cloak of invisibility, but I'm creating my own version. Instead of being a cloak, what I'm going to actually create is something. One of our players is a cleric who wears all these tiaras. So we're going to call this the Tiara of the Unseen. Fun, dramatic name. Interesting, might unleash new things. I don't have to mess with the rarity because I'm not going to muck about too much with the spell for what this is. But they do place the Cloak of Invisibility as a legendary item. And then we have information here in their text. So this is a nice way to be entry leveled into creating a magical item. You can just retext, reflavor, tinker with something. So while wearing this tiara, I don't know if I'm spelling tiara correctly, you can remove the gem to cause yourself to become condition, this is just the markup text, invisible. While you're invisible, anything you're carrying or wearing is invisible with you. You become visible when you place the gem in its setting. And I would like to removing or placing the gem requires an action. And I might even set this up with a gem here, and I'm already getting excited because I'm thinking, well, what if she finds a new gem and tries that out? What's that going to do? Is it the Tiara of the Unseen? If she places a new gem in there, does it make her silent, but still visible? Can she recraft this a few times and create new uses of it? At any rate, coming up with the different things. Down here is like kind of like the cost piece of it. This is kind of how you manage super powerful items. Deduct the time you are invisible in increments of 1 minute from the cloak's maximum duration of 2 hours. So I would just update this from the tiara's maximum duration of 2 hours. After 2 hours of use, the tiara ceases to function. For every uninterrupted period of 12 hours, the tiara goes unused. It regains 1 hour of duration. So this is the balancing piece that they've written in here for this item. Additional information is where I'm going to save my changes really quickly before I go on. Save as you go if you're using D&D Beyond, because I get really frustrated. Often I will open something up and because I want to click into more stuff, and then my information that I've adjusted will be deleted. So just an FYI, those of you using D&D Beyond, it likes to mess with us. I don't think I have any additional information that I wanted to add to this. Maybe if you have something that you want to add additional information for the future or how to improve it, that's a good place to keep that information. But for right now, not doing anything there. That's like a very D&D Beyond specific thing. It's not really about creating items. I'm trying to focus on creating items, not on D&D Beyond creating items. Under conditions, it has the place where you actually have the spell. And for D&D Beyond, this is what gets you that little bit of information in your character sheet. So you want to make sure that this stuff is set up correctly if you're using the D&D Beyond tool. Now, let's leave this little item, which is very cute and fun, and let's create something from scratch. So what we're going to do is I think I'm going to create, I really like the idea of trinkets turning out to have something to them. And if you're going with some of the roguish backgrounds, there's always the trinkets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a magic item, and we're not going to use something else. We're going to create from scratch this time. I'm going to start off with magic item name. Now, I would love for it to be, I feel like there was a feather or something. Maybe it was a silver feather. I'm going to go to the silver feather of, oh, it's a feather, so it should be of falling. And I always version them because I have to fix things. So I version, so I have all the different versions, and I can kind of like backtrack and figure out where I'm at with things. I do this on paper. I also do it on D&D Beyond, and I'm glad that they have it there. Now, if it's a falling, I feel like the spell feather fall is super low level. This is based a little bit too much on intuition, but as far as the rarity goes, I'm going to suggest that this is probably common. Now, I say it's going to be common, but that's based on the spell's level. Other things might have more complicated pieces here. So when you're talking about, say, a wand of, I don't know, of lightning storms, that I believe is a higher level spell. It's 4th level, I think. 4th level, if I have that and I have it recharge every day at dawn, like a lot of these wands do, 5 charges, that's quite a lot actually. Gives a caster a lot of extra utility with that tool. I would say that's at least a rare item. And at the rare item, I kind of places where I would hand my characters this and how much power it's going to have. Then there's like things that are truly ridiculous over the top, like if I was going to do a barbarian's hammer of banginess, the terrible name. I might have it be made out of a rare material, like it's made out of the glass of the furnaces of Nathandol, which is a made-up name. Doesn't exist in any D&D lore that I know of, but it might. Who knows? Has to be attuned. Has to be a non-lawful character. And it binds to your hand and can never be let go except when thrown. And when thrown, spectral chains attach the user to the hammer, and it can only go 120 feet. But the bonus side deals 3d10 damage and has a +3 to its attack, so it really brings up everybody's attack roll. And then as a bonus action, you can yank that warhammer back through that weird, funky darkness chain. And then every short rest, it can cast protection from evil and good without any materials. Dun dun dun. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot for an item to have. And so that, I would say, is legendary. So kind of where I place things in my head, it's like, how encounter breaking would that be for a similarly leveled combat between that, like, you know, the barbarian's preferred combat group to what they were doing. So anyways, we're on the feather of falling, the feather of happiness. Rarity, we're going to go with common because it's not super game breaking. The items type is just an item. The magic item type is wondrous. The other pieces here have components in a sense about how they're held or positioned. Like rings would always be on your hand, possibly. Whereas a staff might have to be in your hand to be used, or a scroll has to be withdrawn from a scroll case. Wands have to be pulled from a wand sleeve thing. Potions have to be fumbled about, pulled out. So these are all things that have a little piece of tinkering to be done with them. If I did it as armor, I would have to fill out the base armor and the dexterity bonuses, all those pieces on D&D Beyond. You want to jot those things down. I honestly love D&D Beyond for prompting me through this because it makes me do all the work. But it's a wondrous item, and I think even though it shouldn't require attunement, I don't want them to have this forever. So I'm going to require attunement merely to make them move on from this item. This is a low-level item, and I'm kind of being a brat about requiring attunement. But I want to require attunement because I don't want them to just use this forever. Now, I might not require attunement on something that I want them to have access to forever. Maybe I want them to always be able to be super sneaky, and so I have that cloak from before, and I don't require attunement. But I'm going to require attunement on this because I just don't want them to become reliant on this. I want them to move on and have additional items. So for the attunement description, I might write down like how it feels to be attuned to it, or I might say, you've had this item your entire life. It is a keepsake. One day you will move on, but not today. So that's just a for fun thing. When I generally do this, though, it's like to attune by a specific class, or sometimes I might say like the attunement process means you're consumed in flames for the hour. They don't seem to hurt you, but no one else can approach. Just flavor and fun. And the description is where you get into the really fun bit of this. So a small silver feather that negates the first, let's go with 30 feet of falling damage, because I did make it an attunement requiring thing. As long as they remember they have it, they'll be able to remind me that they don't take 30 feet of falling damage, so they can jump off of big buildings, normal size buildings, not huge buildings, but normal size buildings. Fun little thing to have, easy enough to put in there, simple. I don't even need to do any markups for this, and it doesn't need any additional pieces for D&D Beyond, but hey, happy little game. So that's really it in a nutshell. I mean, I didn't really have to share all the additional stuff with using D&D Beyond. It's not really the point, but just being creative with this, tinkering with your ideas, and having fun. I hope you enjoyed this little session. Intermission is over because the moment I stop talking, I'm going to start talking again. And I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful night. Bye. I'm so terrible at this today.
Fun.
3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, sorry, we're live. My bad.
And we're up. Welcome back to the podcast, Probability of Demise. We are back after our break, half an hour of luxurious wading through a pool of thickened adhesive. What did you do during your break?
I walked the dogs.
Aww. Still think the doggo cam might actually be the best intermission ever. Just not sure how to logistic my way into that.
We just need to strap a streaming GoPro to their collars when we take them outside, and then watch everybody get motion sickness from hanging on to Willow.
Oh God. Just the flung.
We'll have to leave the
dog.
sound off or they'll all go deaf when she barks at everything that moves.
So at this point, you've been dragged off to whatever passes for a jail cell around here, and you've been left behind with Bonnie and a bunch of cats. They're all in a crate.
Cats are in jail. I'm in jail. Who's not in jail?
The young woman who had been helping you kind of took off when the guards arrived. Hasn't been seen since. What are you up to?
Maybe she's rallying the people to save me.
All right.
I'm a living folk hero.
Shh, you're in prison.
I am going to.
That's what I'm saying out loud in prison.
Nobody knows.
In the interior, I'm going to tie a very, very, like, hopefully tight knot based on what I was taught growing up. And then
I'm going to say for you, based on your background, knots are a freebie unless it's something super special that you're trying to, like, deal with. So
mostly just that the cats can't tug at it. And,
yeah.
Okay.
Freebie for you with your background.
But I would like to go see if there's like a blacksmith that I can buy a lock off of.
By a walk.
Lock.
Okay.
New helmet.
You know, who
I
knows?
hate you.
Just picture this little 3-foot squirrel walking around with a walk on her head.
Didn't I have a walk on my head at one point because of when we were sailing, there was something that was in a walk. Remember?
I'm choosing not to remember.
It was
so
one of the encounters. There was like 3 of them. Remember, they were like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, and then you took it and put it on my head, and it was way too big.
Yeah, that was good. Good times, good memories. All right.
If I took notes, I would know that.
Good times, great oldies.
So you are going to look for someone in town that crafts those materials. Are you asking people about it, or are you just kind of hunting them out, trying to?
I would listen for like the noise of,
Okay.
but if I didn't hear anything,
Roll
then
a
I would
perception
kind of...
check really quick first, and see where we go from there.
9.
You don't hear anything.
Is there anybody who's at least like doing the looking and staring or like
Oh yeah,
whispering?
You can pretty much run assured, unless you're alone, people are whispering and staring.
Okay. Can anyone point me towards a blacksmith or someone that can make like a lock, like a padlock?
Kind of scanning the like 5 or 6 people who've noticed you, and there was only 3 at first, and now there's 5 or 6. There's eyes dart around really quickly,
Anyone?
and then eventually an older woman kind of puffs as she comes up to you. All right. That's an Overton purchase.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay. I guess the knot will have to do for now.
All right. All right, people, break it up. Leave this young cutie alone. Good on you, lass. Pats your head. Turns and walks away.
I pat my hair back down.
Her faux hawk is constantly being messed with.
Some hair gel. And some hairspray. They'll get a little stiff faux once they can't muss it up.
I was like, but before you go, town square, where is it?
Oh, don't go that way, sweetie. Please don't.
No, I know why, and that's exactly why I'm going there.
This thing happened, just running away from us. It's that way. I'll miss you. You were a sweet young kid, and you were so kind and doing such good things. And
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
I'm confident that this sucks. You just hear her mutter as she kind of wanders away grumpily.
All right, and I head that direction.
Yep, you head that direction. Bonnie's tailing you. Kitten's safely ensconced and snoozing away a bit still. Fishbelly's full. And it doesn't take you long to get there. It's actually kind of surprising how the town's people's behavior has caused a change in how folk get from place to place, because this town square truly is the center, and it would make so much more sense to travel through this space. But as you step through and look around, you see why. Almost every single storefront or house that faces into the town square appears to have these, air quotes around them, guards people lounging in front of them. And there's not a shop that's actually run in this space. It looks like they've all been appropriated as residences of the guardians and the guards and whatnot. And so you can kind of get this glance before you fully step into the space and see that this is the hangout of this, second big air quotes around it, guard. In the center of the space, what should be a beautiful green area, a green area that's shared for the tending of animals, if there are any, gatherings for people, places for folk just to kind of let loose and relax.
Like a lawn?
It's a churned up mess. It's very clear that at some point during the day, drills are occasionally held, because there's a section of it just looks like it's been very much tilled by practice, and it has kind of that regimented pattern that you would recognize even from your father's work with his subordinates. But then there's another area that's much more heavily used. Kind of the checkering texture of a million boot prints stood in a circle, with a center area that is just mown down and dented from who knows how many fights, causing the area where people probably stand usually to be up higher than the area where people clearly fight in what looks like basically a mud pit. Nobody is currently in that area, but this is a large enough gathering of people that something must be coming up soon. It doesn't make sense for this many guards people to be here in this space without.
I go up and I walk it up to and climb into the pit area, and I just stand there.
All right. So you're just standing there?
Yep, just waiting. I make sure Bonnie doesn't come in with me.
Okay. Roll a. I'm gonna, because this is kind of a provocative thing, I'm gonna just have you roll Roll a intimidation check. It's not that I'm looking at intimidation necessarily, it's just I'm trying to get a sense of how quickly they may or may not respond to your presence. Whether they're choosing to ignore you or they're actually attending.
12.
Okay. I think you get a lot of glances and talk, but nothing happens even within the first half an hour.
I sit down and I start to meditate.
Okay. While this is going on, you've been dragged off to what passes for a jail in this place. You come up to a building that looks at odds with the other structures. It's nowhere near the town center. It looks like multiple levels, but the highest level looks like it's the one that makes the most sense as an entrance. Like it's the one that actually has it looks like there was a door up there, but it's inaccessible now. Down lower, you see an entryway that is very much old in and of itself, and this entire building seems very off from the rest of the buildings. They're all wood buildings, but this one is brick. Strange bricks like you've seen in some of the ancient places, in the leftover remnants of spaces. And as you're brought into a bunch of separate little spaces. You can see that there's just a door, and then another door, and then another door. And they take you over to one of the doors, open it. Say, "Get over it, kid." Push you inside.
I'll be like, my friend's trying to fight the guard right now to get me out of here, right?
Well, we'll try to help her out if we can, recover what we can, but
They just let me go and I could go help her.
you gotta grow up. You just hear the door slam as you say that. You're in a small room. It's not barred. It's not bars at all. It's just you're in a small room. It looks like at one point the bricks that are bare to you now probably had some sort of plaster over them, but not like a weak plaster, like something cementish, tough. But it's been worn away. It's been chipped away. Maybe at some point somebody was tossed in here and started doing graffiti, and then after generation after generation after generation of graffiti, it had all been chipped down to almost nothing. The space isn't huge, but it is a solid, stout structure that you're inside of, and you know you're at the base of what looks like a much taller building. The ceiling above you is kind of a repetition of what you expected. Walking in, just a strange kind of fabrication above you that's just a little off. It's definitely not anything you've seen before. Strange shape for a building construction. Definitely not an Overton style design or Underton. Very rusted.
Am I like alone now?
Yeah.
Is there something, am I still handcuffed?
Yes. Still manacled.
All right.
They didn't really take any of your possessions, though. You still have your stuff.
Like my gun?
Yeah.
I think maybe they didn't know what it was, I suppose.
They may have known what it was. They may not have cared.
Can I reach my thieves' tools?
Go ahead and do a dexterity check to see if you can get to those.
18.
18. Yeah, you're able to get to them.
Okay.
When you do get to them, there's a little bit of a jangling. And roll a perception check.
5.
Okay. You start doing whatever you're doing with your thieves' tools.
I'm trying to pick myself out of the manacles.
Okay. Go ahead and this would be lock picking. Are you Proficient in thieves tools?
I have them. I don't know if I have proficiency. Hang on. God damn it. Proficiency is no, I am not.
Okay. So you'd already be at disadvantage for this, and the situation would put you at further disadvantage. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of adjusting the DC a little bit. So just roll sleight of hand check
With disadvantage?
with disadvantage, and we'll see where you get.
$17.
That's exactly what you needed. So what I'll say is that as you're kind of tinkering with it, and you kind of feel like you're being successful, but you're making a little bit more noise than you intend to, you hear a whispered, finally, "Hey, hey," from the wall adjacent to yours, where one of the other doors should be, and one of the presumably other rooms should be.
Hello.
These echo. I love these walls. It's good space. So, who'd they rescue you from?
Who'd they what?
Rescue you from?
What do you mean?
The only time you get thrown in here is if you're really fucking around or about to get in trouble.
I
I got
guess the
pulled out of
other-
the hands of a couple of idiots who were roughing up my girl.
I guess maybe a little bit the rest of the city guard and a little bit myself.
Ah, you're drunk.
No, I'm just stupid. But
Oh,
what are you in? So you were arrested for trying to stop someone from roughing up your girl.
yeah.
God, this town is fucked up.
Well, they arrested me. Arrested my girl too. So, she's next door. You hear him like banging on a faint echo from another wall. You can't hear the voice on the other side of that wall, but you get the sense that he's just literally banging on the other side of his own cell. So, yeah,
That's cool.
it sucks, but hey, at least we got 5 of them.
5 of the guards
Yeah, I mean,
killed them.
no.
Oh,
5 of the people that got sent here seem to actually care. They do what they can. They keep the teenagers who get drunk and do stupid shit from being killed. Mostly help out with situations. There's just 5 of them though, so they don't really handle the night stuff. So we just know at night, don't be out.
cool. As he's talking, I'm scratching
He
into
seems
the
very
wall.
chatty, so he just kind of jabbers at you even when you're not
I'm like
listening to him.
scratching into the wall. Off to help my friend. Feel free to do the right thing. See you over there. And then I'm just gonna like focus really hard on a thing that I definitely wrote down. I'm focusing really hard, and I'm like, a hole in space-time is something I read about. It goes just like this, and a door is going to open in the middle of my cell like a portal, and an adjacent or another connecting portal will open out front of the jail.
Dimensioning dooring your way out.
Dimension door, yes. And I'm gonna run for it and then just sprint for the town center.
So, as you're just like running out the door, can you give me a really quick perception check?
19.
Okay. As you run out the door, you catch another guard, not one of the 2 that brought you in, another guard's expression as he sees this materialize out in the middle of nowhere. Just that's all. Just like this momentary flicker of interest and recognition.
Oh, by the way, to the other guy, as I run through the door, I go, "Okay, bye."
Painful. All right, so you're sitting there meditating in the middle of the field when you feel, I think the sun blocked. You hear a voice. What you doing out here?
Waiting to kick somebody's ass.
Don't be stupid.
Back at you.
Oh, go tell whoever's up. You know, if you're sitting out here, you're not part of the group.
Doesn't matter. I will beat anyone you want to throw at me.
No, it's not like that. Like you're sitting in the middle of the fighting ring, they're
Mhm.
gonna kill you.
Okay.
Shit, kid. How's your funeral? And the shadow disappears. The sun's back on you in your meditation space. It's not too long after that you hear a bunch of shouts and yells, and hear this time a bunch of feet all squashing through the muck towards you. And you trying to die?
No.
Look, kid, you got to get out of here. They're gonna start the fights.
That's what I'm here for.
They're not gonna let you fight. They're just gonna kill you.
They can try.
Well, then open your eyes, because they're currently gonna kill you.
What I was gonna say was when they left, I would have like opened my eyes to like a soft, like the soft faraway gaze of a meditation instead of closed, but just didn't. But okay, I open my eyes and do the soft gaze.
Okay, as you do your soft gaze, roll a perception check.
$19.
Okay. So kind of open your eyes. You see this person who, they don't look like a great human being. This might be their one reach out to another human being. They probably think, based on your size, that you're younger than you actually are even. But what you see beyond them is a bunch of these ne'er-do-well guards have crossbows leveled at you. They're not playing fair. They're not holding by whatever rule they have, if they even have any rules.
Speaking of rules, remember you can only deflect one missile
Mm-hmm. Thank
at a
you.
time.
Thank you.
Okay. You can also see that Bonnie is not in sight anywhere.
Interesting. You guys really are cowards, aren't you? You know, I didn't want to believe it, but like I came here to be proven wrong, and all you're doing is proving everything that they say about you out there is right.
All right, kid, your funeral. And the one that had approached you turns and just kind of like stalks away, not in the direction of where most of the crossbow wielders are, but off in a different corner.
This is really what you want to be known for? For shooting an unarmed kid? You really think my dad, who's in charge of the Yellow Guard, won't bring hellfire down on every one of you for murdering his kid without even a fair fight?
Roll an intimidation check really quickly.
Didn't
Do
even
it.
go well.
I inspire her from my spring.
It's an at one.
Boo.
Well, one of them also nat one.
One out of however many.
However many.
68 cards.
You see that like one of them flinch and kind of lower their crossbow, but the others just seem to hold their gaze, and then one individual steps forward. What do you want, you twerp?
I want you to prove to me that what they say
Who's
is
they?
wrong. Everybody else in this town They all say that you ain't worth nothing.
I don't care about worth. Care about what we got here. We got a good thing.
What's so good about it?
Little shits like you, they don't matter here.
Uh-huh. And you shaking down old ladies for money?
Oh yeah.
Really?
It's an easy life. Much easier than it is out there in the wastes.
Okay. So say you get a different life here that's still easy but doesn't involve shaking down ladies.
Hey kid, if there was a life like that, we would have already taken it.
Maybe just didn't have somebody to, speak on your behalf. Seeing as all you do is act like bullies.
Yeah, waster. And this individual turns around and begins walking back towards the other people with the crossbows.
How far away are they from me?
They move the closest. They're within 20 feet of you.
Can I step of the wind and go to
Yes.
punch them?
Please do so.
How close am I?
I will tell you in a moment. How close am I? Roll your attack.
Oh.
You said you were going to punch them.
Yes. Number 1,
Zippity zippity.
12. I
That
think.
does
Let me double check.
not hit.
Yes, 7.
Okay, that does not hit.
That's a 22.
That hits.
And then I'm also going to use,
The necrosis one?
is that a suggestion?
No, I'm just having fun.
uh,
I looked into it a little bit more after our last session where whether you could use both came up, and I'm like, yeah, this totally makes sense. Like, you're a monk, so each hit could be a different one, like necrotic hell,
right.
stunning strike. So totally down with you using.
I would also like to use another key point and try to do stunning strike,
Mhm.
since I kind of technically have them by surprise.
Yeah.
What is the? Oh, it's a DC 14 Constitution.
14
Take
Constitution.
away that key point.
They are stunned.
All right. Let me roll the damage for that one. What is it?
Yes, please
It's a
roll
D-
the damage.
D6.
The damages.
That's 10.
Awesome.
His head explodes.
Does the
That's
stunning
okay,
strike also include damage, or just to stun
That's to
them?
take your strike and make it a stunning strike.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Gives you super stunning power.
it's what I would equate it to, like coming up with an analogy for what this looks like is like, and this is really up to you to color because it's your stunning strike.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing instead of going for a gut punch, a head punch that knocks them senseless for a moment.
Yeah.
That's the kind of. at
That's
least how
essentially what
I
I'm going for. It's like a
picture
back
is,
of the
like,
neck kind of.
Yeah, you're hitting so that they are stunned. So it could be like you know exactly where to hit them in the back of the head or the back of the like a kidney punch that's going to cause the air to
Yeah.
and stun them for just long enough for them not to be able to do anything for a round. Like that's the general idea. It cause them to be dizzied.
Boomer's trying to also put herself to bed.
Aw. Dizzying them with like a shot to the temple, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Is what I at least imagine it to be. You decide how it's going to be played out, but
I mean, since their back is to me, and I basically am trying to,
go for that
yeah,
brain trauma of a thump thump.
make them see stars for a second.
All right, cool. Yeah, you definitely make this person see stars. Where are you positioning yourself? You said behind them, so I'm guessing you're there between you and crossbow wielders.
Yeah, but I would have, after I did that, I would have crouched directly behind him, so I'm essentially in full cover from as much as I can be from.
Beautiful. So what I would like you to do now is roll initiative.
Okay.
Jason, you are one round away from being able to see them. You'll be about 90 feet away when that round is over. So
Right.
consider what you want to do.
You have a
can go ahead
chance
and
to
roll your
redeem
initiative as
yourself.
well.
Here. You have a chance to redeem yourself.
You talking to me or the dice?
The dice. Okay. That is a 19.
Awesome. So this actually works out really well because I think like you ducking down low is a perfect situation for them to be like, trying to catch sight of you, seeing their colleague currently incapacitated, stunned. And you see crossbows go down as they start to move towards you, but you're up first. What did you roll for your initiative roll? You're going to have to wait around before it's your first turn, but...
That's cocked.
That's not, is it?
Yeah, it is.
8.
Okay, so you're right on with one of them. So what is your dexterity?
16.
All right, so you'll be before that group. Okay. In the next round. Sorry. Okay, so you're up first. What are you doing for your action, movement, bonus action, if anything?
My attempted, I guess, I would like to do an unarmed strike, not as a punch, but with I guess with a kick to sweep him and knock his legs out from underneath him.
Okay, to knock him prone.
Yeah.
Okay, so knocking someone prone, go ahead and roll, I think because he's stunned, this would be easily enough done. I don't even think you have to roll for it. It's just your action is going to be to knock them over.
Okay,
because
like a push.
I mean,
Kind
it's
of
like,
call it as a push.
yeah, it's like knocking over a crate of crates that are, I mean, you're already there. They're already stunned. They're already set up. They're going to fall over. Are you trying to cause any damage with this?
As he falls, I would try to hit, but
Okay, so go ahead and roll the attack with advantage
okay.
because they are stunned.
Okay.
And you're making them prone, which is just going to double up on the advantage as they are.
So that would be a 24
That hits.
or a dirty 20.
And that hits.
Wait, am I rolling 1 or 2? You said with advantage, right?
Yeah.
So the first
Oh,
one.
I thought you were rolling. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
that was the okay.
Yeah, so
This would be the second one is, oh, that was a 6, I think.
I think in my head, I live in a different world.
That's plus, so that would be a 13, I think, if that was, I'm trying to find it. Where's the 6? I think that was a 6.
Okay, remember you still have advantage.
On both?
Yeah, they're still prone.
Oh, coolio. 14. It's
That
like,
does not
please, not a
hit.
1.
That does not hit. What I would say kind of happens like you get that first hit in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't anticipate as they're falling them to actually be wearing any type of armor because they've been such a ragtag group. But your second hit kind of catches on a bit of leather, and you can feel that you're not actually making contact with them at all. Go ahead and roll damage for the one that hit, though.
Okay. 7.
Awesome. So you can hear the breath totally go out of this person. Were you intending to kill or to make unconscious?
Make unconscious.
Okay.
But
They have no more hit points, so it's really your call.
my bonus action would be to draw my shovel and put the blade against their throat.
Okay. That takes us to the first group who are running up at you. Seem in blind rage, a couple of them. They use both their movement and their action to run up at you, but you can also see 2 of them in this first little group. Their eyes, as they run up to you, just turn blood red, like something's triggered in them and they've gone feral almost. They're screaming and running at you. You get the sense of what's happening.
You might say they've gone into
a
rage.
The other 2, which in the future will be, your turn will be right in there. Also running up, they post up for a second after only running 30 feet-ish. Half their movement-ish. Or 1 full movement. And then they pull and they start chucking daggers at you. So you have 2 daggers flying in your direction. The first is a 10 to hit.
Nope.
And the second would be a 17 to hit.
That meets. So can I use deflect missile?
Yeah.
Okay.
Use the key points. Make the key points
Okay.
happen. Let's
I
drain
need
the
to
key.
keep hitting apply. Okay. So now I tried to damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus 11. If you reduce the damage to 0 and have a free hand. Okay. So 1d10
You can do it.
plus 11. Hey, I rolled a 10. So that's 21. Is it hit more than a 21?
Nope.
Okay.
So you just totally.
I'm gonna use it to send it back.
Okay. Roll the attack. Zippity doo dah.
Whoop. Try that
Zippity
again.
dice. Going nowhere with a really quick splice.
I have a 4 plus 11.
That does not hit. They do kind of like the person who you fling it back at. Their eyes kind of widen for a second. Neither of these two are blood red eyes or anything like that.
No.
But their eyes do widen for a second as the dagger just goes right past them.
That was your only warning. I said it.
Awesome. Free action. So it's coming back to your turn. After my blood-eyed guys, it'll be your turn. And then it'll be Knifey Boy's turn. Okay, so what are you doing?
My turn again?
Yep. Back at the top of the order.
I really don't want to do this. I'm going to attempt to decapitate this dude with my shovel. And then I am going to use, what is it called?
They are unconscious at your feet. It's an action to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a strength check to see if you're successful. They are definitely going to be dead.
Yes. And then I'm also going to use patient defense to dodge. I can take dodge as a bonus action. So whenever the next person comes to hit me, I guess. Does that work? I've never used it before, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Strength. Okay.
The monk strongest stat.
I will at least make a dent. That's a 4.
All right. So you
I am
apply
strong.
pressure and you can feel something snap and squish. There's a little bit of redness, but you're not sure if it's just discoloration of the neck. But you've definitely not pierced the skin in a way that's substantive.
Okay.
But this person is definitely dead now.
Okay.
All right. So you spent key point
Yeah, let me mark that off.
for the dodge action as a bonus action.
I watched you do it. I think you already did. The key point? I thought you did it.
No, I did a stunning strike, the step of the wind, the deflect missile, and that.
Oh,
so
okay.
There was a lot. There's a lot of key being spent in the first few moments of this little battle.
Trying to end it quickly.
Good work.
So just so you know, when you do use patient defense and have the dog the dog action,
Patient defense is a dog that just defends you patiently.
it's any attack roll against you
Okay.
has disadvantage if you can see them,
Okay.
and any dexterity saving throws that you have to make have advantage.
Okay, cool.
So it's really quite useful as long as you can see the attack coming. But I'm just saying that for
Yeah.
FYI in case
For
you know,
future notice. Yeah.
assassins.
Assassino!
I have to kill off the heroes. So the two blind rage people,
One asshole group at a time. First the guards, then the thieves guild. All right.
the two blind rage guys run up at you. They're now within range and they're going to go ahead and try to swing like crazy. So the first one,
I wish your gang was here.
the first one's going to swing with disadvantage, and they're doing reckless too, so that would make them at neutral.
So what was the roll?
So I need to undo that whole roll and do a new roll. Saying, how did I roll 3 9s in a row? That's not even possible.
I loaded your dice before when you were eating.
When you weren't physically in this space? Yeah, sure.
Does
Okay.
a 16 hit?
No.
Okay. So the first one totally biffs it. They expect it to tell our opponent. And then the second one is also doing reckless. 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay. So they're going to hit. They are going to hit you with their crazy dude. Come on, where's the spaceship dice? Take 10 points of damage as they swing wildly with their club. It's blunt from this one. The other one has an axe, just so you're aware.
Okay.
And as you take that 10 points of damage, I'll tell you later. It is your turn.
Okay.
What are you up to?
So I'm gonna run to the.
You see that she's kind of in the midst of a 1-on-4 little
Run to
soiree,
the
but there's
very-
other people in the area as well. Some of them seem to be taking a overt interest that may have ill intent behind it. Others seem to be just ignoring it as a petty thing going on, one of the usual issues.
I'm gonna run like up to the limits of my distance, like as close to them as I can, and I'm gonna skin my smoke wagon. No, sorry, I watched too much Tombstone. Sorry. Draw your pistol. Calm down.
Yeah,
Skin that smoke wagon.
it sounded dirtier, didn't
It
it?
does.
It sounds really dirty.
I'm gonna pull out my pistol and shoot at the nearest evil guard.
The nearest one that are...
That's like
That's attacking me.
All right, so that would be one of the two that have thrown the knives. Are you going to go for the one that hit with the knife, or the one that, or not hit, that had the knife sail past them, or the one that did not, that totally biffed their throw?
I'll shoot at the one that throws better.
Okay. Roll your attack.
I should have had this up already.
Oh, this would be
I'm really
cool if you
sorry.
got this to succeed, because last time you used it, it kind of
It jammed.
was a jam.
20 hit.
Yes, 20 hits.
What did you roll?
14. I have
Oh,
plus
okay.
6 on the weapon.
I saw the 19. I was like, really? It's only +1?
Roll the damage.
10.
10. Yeah, you definitely hit center of mass area. They're kind of turned around by the hit of that, and they're making eye contact with you. The problem has changed. The loudness of the report of the gun is also enough to alert you to the fact that something else has come into the fray, but it also
I mean, you've
Obviously.
also heard my gun,
Gains
so
the
hopefully you
attention
know it's me.
of others.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my bonus action, I'm gonna go. All you need is love. All you need is love is all you need. And I'm gonna bardic inspiration her.
You just shot somebody, and then you're professing your love via poem to a squirrel to inspire them. It is a beautiful thing.
Panicked. Couldn't read my own one. He's panicking.
Awesome. All right, so that takes us to the other two. The one that you hit, definitely looking your way now, shouts something over their shoulder, winces, and begins to step towards you very purposefully with menace in their eyes, all doing all the crazy normal henchman things of looking dangerous. Cigar suddenly sprouts into existence just to
would've gotten away
be
with it,
smoked
too.
and thrown on the
I think I'm
ground.
still like 2 turns away from him. It's fine.
And the other one pulls from their belt another knife and chucks it at you after the barked command. So does
How far can you throw a knife? So it's like 90 feet.
12 hit. I'm rolling it how I need to roll it. Does a 12 hit.
It does not.
So you see this knife flung at you clatter as it
I
hit
really
the
wish he
ground.
rolled a nat 1 so it would have hit the other guy.
Well, he's rolling it with disadvantage as it was. You could have a nat 20 instead, and that would have hit you. So, you know, distance knife throws sometimes have their own downsides. So he's already suffering from that. Awesome. So that takes us to the top of the order with you.
All
You
right.
have bardic inspiration. 2 enraged individuals right up in your face, swinging
Okay.
weapons.
Is there any chance that I can like move in close to try to at least hit one of the ones raging? Or do I need to like do a dex?
No, I mean,
Dodge to-
you're already in
Okay.
their melee range. You're
Alright.
you're within, like, it would actually be to your detriment to step away because they would
Right.
take opportunity attacks. So you're
I'm gonna go. I don't.
there is a
know.
little space of what I'll call difficult terrain where the body is, just
Right.
so you're aware.
Let me go after the one with the axe.
All right,
My-
roll that attack.
Okay. One is a 21 and one is a 13.
The 21 hits.
I would like to follow up and try to do a stunning strike. Constitution 14.
They're in a rage, so they get that happiness. They fucking suck. So this one is stunned.
All right. And the damage is
Which was
6.
technically a 10, but still.
6.
6. Awesome. Okay. Cool. So immediately after you, it's their turn. So that they take and swing. The one that's with their club is going to take and swing. They have advantage because of the rage and the recklessness of recklessnesses. Be stupid. Okay. Glad they're stupid.
Yes, it hits. Asshole.
Gotta make sure we're legit here. Oh, if you whine too much, I'll just make them all hit. So you're going to take, is it?
It's just unnecessary, that's all. Ugh.
14 points of damage. And that's their turn. Your turn. Because the other one's currently stunned, so only really one attack going on right now.
What is around me?
Based on where you've approached, you're kind of at the border of the inner square, which would have been a lawn before. You're kind of approaching onto the area where there's the mucked up mud area, and then the center ring where she had been originally. She's moved slightly closer to you at this point, and the focus of the fighting has moved closer in your direction, but not terribly much so. It was mostly because she moved up to the person she tried to decapitate somewhat. Nearly headless.
Nigel.
I like Nigel. That's a good name. Let's save that for somebody else. Nearly headless Bob. So you're kind of like in that zone, but she's still a good 60, 70 feet away from you. I'm not going to be precise with the numbers, but she's within range of longer range spells, just within range of your inspiration spells.
I'm looking more for.
Oh, son of a bitch! I had inspiration.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking more for
I
objects.
reminded you even. That was nice. It was a good DM.
Did you remind me?
Yes.
Did you? Oh, I didn't notice. Oh, I went to get my water. That's probably why I didn't
No
hear.
love from either of you two.
You're the
I'm
enemy
sorry,
right now.
I have ADHD. I'm not sure why you expect me to remember anything.
This table
Hello.
is a neutral territory. What's
I
up?
think my real name is Asher. I don't even know anymore. I don't remember things. Any crates, wagons, anything of that nature around me?
There's a lot of broken up material behind you, but this area of the field area, the open area, is very much just turned up mud.
Whatever,
It's
like the largest solid object is near me, like up to large size. I'm going
That
to
isn't
say
a person.
roll a perception check to see if there's anything that we'll see if that determines anything being within.
you know where I'm going with this.
No, I have no clue.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying not to.
7.
I have too many things to think about right now. I mean, you don't really see anything close. There's a tree, but it's be a bit of a walk to get over there. There's the buildings directly behind you.
Are you a large object or smaller?
Now I know what you're trying to do. Sorry. I feel like a jerk now. Because that's one of my favorite things.
Let's see. All right. I will. I'm gonna shoot the guy that's running at me, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll do that instead. That's easier. Does a 15 hit?
No, just misses.
Boo. You're still inspired, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to step. Is there a way I can step like to the left or right and step closer to her but further from the guy coming at me?
He's coming from the direction she's at, so to get
Okay.
closer to her would be to pass him.
Okay.
You could try to like kite away, but you're gonna just end up moving.
Yeah. I'm just
away.
gonna go like sideways away from him, but not further away from her.
So you're gonna try to maintain your distance from him as much as possible while. Okay. Yeah, I mean the geometry is not gonna work out perfectly.
Yeah.
You're not gonna gain a ton of ground, but you might gain another turn, maybe. Anything else you're doing?
I think that's my
Movement,
action.
action?
My movement. Nah, I don't.
Okay. So the individual who's running at you continues to run at you, and they are going to try to be stupid because they're thugs. They're not intelligent, and try to do a diving leap at you in the hopes of knocking you over.
Aren't they like 40 feet away?
So he's using his action and his movement to just
Okay.
try to be ridiculous and be stupid. So it's going to
Oh, I
be a
hope he's
leap of
prone for my next
idiocy.
turn.
All right. Did that with a disadvantage. Okay. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw and beat a 15.
Boom. 23.
Sweet. So you dodge aside as they kind of like skid into the mud and dirt of the harder gravel of the pathway, and they just kind of they're not doing so hot at their crazy leap of idiocy. And then the other one again pulls out yet another knife, walks up another bit, and chucks this one at you. No longer at disadvantage. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
Yes. Something useful. You take 5 points of damage.
My eye.
It sticks somewhere sensitive, I'm sure.
My nipple.
I feel like I was grazed.
And they are going to... Yes, they'll do that. Okay, cool. All right, so that takes us back up to the top again.
Okay.
Round and round we go.
So the one with the axe is stunned. I'm gonna go after the other one.
Club Boy, remember at the end of your turn, the stun wears off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want you to forget. Or be surprised.
Okay, so the first one is a 25, and the second one
You
is
still
an 18.
You still have.
You have to use it before you know the result.
Okay, I guess I'll, what
You
is
don't-
it,
I mean-
D8?
I would just wait. 18 is pretty good. I can also inspire you again. It's a bonus action. It's fine.
24?
Okay. So both of those hit. I was given as many hints as I could.
Yes. Apparently, when they're raging, they have higher.
Oh, right.
I would also like to use one more key point and do other way. Other way.
Work's not looking
to,
to add 3 back.
to do a hand of harm on the
She's
one
only
with
got
the club.
7 at this level. I know how much she's got.
To do hand of harm
Sweet.
on the club one also.
Roll
so I'm
the
doing-
damages.
Okay. We'll go left to right. So first one would be, what is that, a plus of 4? 10 damage. Second one would be 7 damage. Ah, boo! And the last one would be 4 necrotic.
They are taken out by these. So how are you planning on taking this one down? Boof, boof, boof.
I am going
What does this
to.
look like?
I am going to do two quick ones, like right up, like uppercuts to the ribs, I guess, not to the face because I can't quite reach. And then the last one's going to be straight in the gonads
Okay.
with the necrotic damage.
Oh,
Awesome.
no, actually, the ribs. I'm thinking like the knuckles, like just coming up and like catching you, like right under the rib cage. Ow!
Yeah. So that's what it looks like. Like small creature against large enraged creature, and it's just chucking up. The pancreas, no longer a thing. The liver, not there anymore. And they collapse, dead, as their internal organs have been completely obliterated.
Punched a guy in the balls to death. Well done.
So, that your turn, or you're doing anything else with your bonus action?
How many people are left?
Axe dude, 2 knife peoples, and then the miscellaneous crowd who may or may not be reacting at this point.
Can I use my last key point to do a one more flurry of blows and attack the dude while he's still stunned?
Yes.
I still
Okay.
think for you we should
Roll
call
with
it flurry of
advantage.
blows, since we all call it that anyway.
Furry blows. Flurry of.
We'll call it the
Do I
flurry
get
of
I get
fury.
advantage because he's stunned, right?
And because he's also,
The furry,
well, I guess
furry
it's technically
fear,
one off.
furry flurry
Okay,
of
so
fury.
the first one's a
That's what we'll call it.
25.
That hits.
Second one is a 22.
That hits.
First one is 6. Second one is 5. So 9 points total.
Okay, you hit and hit. And he collapses. The rage seemed to like melt away at the last hit. Eyes slowly became a little bit more focused, but then that last hit took it out, and he just is gone. Nobody's home anymore.
Okay. I'm going to turn and I'm just turning to prep to run towards the ones that are
Okay.
focused on Asher.
That would be their turn, but they'd be dead. So, Asher, it's your turn with your 2 knifey friends. One who's sprawled out on the ground, trying to consume worms, and the other who's been unmolestedly making their way closer to you while tossing sharp objects at you.
Okay. So the ones on the ground right next to me, I would be at disadvantage if I tried to shoot him, right? So-
Shooting him, yes, but melee, you'd be at advantage. Because he is. Well,
Is it an action to draw my sword? Like to put my gun away and draw my sword?
I don't
Actually, you know what? Hang on.
bonus action, if anything.
Your strength is -1, right?
Yeah.
That means that your unarmed strike is 0. I
Actually,
would know.
I'm gonna look at the guy on the ground. I'm gonna say, "What
I've
is
been there.
that gross smell? Is that coming from your mouth? When did you last brush?" Vicious mockery.
That is an attack roll, yes?
That is a wisdom saving throw of 15.
No. It is an attack roll.
Oh, wisdom.
I do not know where that went. I felt the hit, but I don't see it.
Just hell, and it was on a good number. No, does not make the save. Can you roll the damage on that? If I hunt for my other dice, the dice that probably rolled really well. Under the table.
That's so weird.
4 entire damage.
It's under. If Jason were to put down his right foot, it would be under his heel.
Thank you.
I mean, he'd find it real quick.
That is 4 damage because Vicious Mockery is not a high damage spell. But also, he will be at disadvantage for his next attack on this turn.
If he's ever able to stand up again from the pain of that insult. Okay. So he takes the damage. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anything else you're going to do with your time?
I'm going to look at my friend and say, I much admire your furry flurry of fury. Way to go, friend. Bardic inspiration.
I love and hate that all at the same time. Thank you for shopping at Henchman Will Die. It is now Henchy Hencher's turn. So the one that's on the ground groans as they stand up, takes their fist back, and just goes for a blind wailing throw at you, kind of drunk in their horribleness with this, but they get to roll that at disadvantage. Would have been so nice.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could stab me?
Duh. Does a 10 hit?
It does not. Thank you for asking.
And as you sit there in that bliss of the moment of not worrying about anything, somebody steps up a little bit too close to you suddenly.
Bad touch.
Try to stab you in the back. Does a 22 hit?
No.
For lying,
Oh no.
Yes, it does.
they
Don't
are going to
punish me.
use
Is that a
the
truth?
flanking that they have to fuck you over.
I'm going to
Oh, shit. You take 11 points of damage.
Ow!
Not how I expected that to go. That should have been like a major overhaul of your insides, and instead it was like tappy with the back end of the pommel wimpy ass hit. Sorry, no, that's okay. Damage is separate from the
I mean, I'm a
effectiveness.
bard that still hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still real squishy.
I just would like to make like a monk cry in pain and sympathy with that one. Their turns are over. You can see that one of them just like pulled some shady shit,
Mm-hmm.
stabbing your friend in the back.
How far are they away from me?
You'd use your movement and action to get there unless you used Step of the Wind. You could fling something at them. They're within range of that. If you've got anything super long distance, they're well within range of that.
Okay.
But they're not currently within melee range. You'd have to
Okay.
do something special.
Light crossbow.
Okay.
2? 1.
One reload time wouldn't let it happen within the single round.
Is it a heavy crossbow or a light crossbow?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Being able to reload a crossbow still takes time.
Okay.
You can choop and then
I can still move though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that.
which one are you shooting at?
The one that
Stabby is
No, the one-
between you and
yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Hit the face on the floor is on the other side, so there'd be a little bit of an issue with increasing because he's providing a little bit of cover,
No,
and I'm
the-
guessing you don't want to hit him.
The one that would be between us.
Stabby. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your attack?
17?
Not just a little bit more than just hits.
That's a yes. Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
Roll the damages. Roll the damages, please.
Fuck. Oh wait, do I still have inspiration? No. Yes. I have another one, right? The flurry of blows. That was another bardic inspiration, right?
Yes.
Can I use it on the damage or no?
Does you have special ones?
I think
The mode.
You have to roll it
you
on
have
the
to use
attack
it on the attack roll to add the. I think to use
to be able
it
to
on
use the reroll of the.
Oh,
the,
okay.
use the mote on the damage. I
Okay.
think. Or the mote will explode or something. There's
Yeah,
a-
you have to use it on the
Okay.
attack. I
That's
think.
it. It's 5. I mostly just want to grab his attention, but yeah. So it's 5 points of piercing damage.
You hear a grunt behind you. Fuck. Okay. Anything else? Walking closer.
That's yeah. I don't think I have anything else.
Okay.
Anymore.
Sweet. In the next round, if you choose to move again, you will, with their current stances where they are, you will be within melee. Milieu.
No. Sad. I will be in sad range of them. I will be in meh range.
Lots of different milieux on this moment. What are you up to?
Writing a haiku. What are you up to?
NMU question mark?
As we wait here for our bard to figure out what they're doing in the heat of battle, I will laugh in the face of danger.
I'm gonna say, like, as I grab wherever I got stabbed, I'm gonna be like, "Went to jail today. Now it's your turn for a cage. You were like a cat," and I'm gonna performance of creation a cage like what she made around him
Nice.
behind me, and then like use my movement to walk away.
All right, what size can you do right now?
Up to, I hope it's small enough to crunch him inside of it. Yeah. I want to say it's large, but it might be medium. Give me a second.
'Cause I'm going to have you roll a spell attack for this one to make it stick.
It says an unoccupied space within 10 feet of you, so it's like
He's
around him,
occupied.
but it's around him, so it's.
He occupies that space. So that's why I'm going to make you roll a spell attack if
That
you want
was
to
a
do this.
sweet idea.
It is a sweet idea.
All right.
Roll the spell attack. Your-
Medium.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't
Wait,
be
wait,
looking.
what level are we?
We are 7.
Medium at 6. Large. Wait, no.
I know you get large
Large
eventually.
at 6.
Large, so large would have been able to contain him, so I'm having you roll the spell attack. So can you roll the spell attack, please?
Hit.
Your spell attack modifier should be pretty hefty.
14.
That does not.
Damn it.
So like
Clatter of sticks.
it's so I think like to make it work, you picture the cage over him so that it's gonna fall down on him, and it's a beautiful cage. Well made, well designed, definitely taking a lot of the carpentry moments. Like you can see, like that actually looks like a place I hammered. Why has it got my hammer prints on it right here? And it just clatters down right next to him. A perfect, beautiful cage. However, I need you to roll an intimidation check. Because I don't know about you, but if suddenly somebody materialized a fucking cage next
Nope.
to me after saying the shit he just said, I'd be a little bit panicked.
That's a 10.
Okay. You can see his eyes widen a bit,
My dice are turning on me.
but now that you're facing him, he's still going after you.
You should try the new ones.
The one that is now behind you, Mr. Biffed his face on the world, who is no longer at disadvantage, oh, thank God, is going to go and try to do their stabby. You're kind of caught between the two of them. Does a 13 hit?
No.
So they into nothing because they suck.
sweet
You
leather
can
coat.
feel your like catch on your coat, and you're like, "Oh fuck!" And it would have been a sneaky attack because they're flanking you, and they would have been also excited about that, but they didn't do it so well. And then the other one's going to try to do the same business. A little bit. 13 hit.
Nope.
Same spot in the coat. Their knives paired in
poor
a moment
coat.
of beautiful symmetry. I don't know what else to do with this. And they are both going to use their bonus action to disengage and try to jump back further from you.
Get
So
away from me.
both moving away from you, finding you to be a pita of a target. And so they both use their full movement to get further away from you. Pita? Penedias?
Oh. Pain in the ass.
I mean, what did I say?
If Asher
I
is
said
anything,
pita.
it's that. That word.
So you kind of see the two of these criminals spring back very lethally. Disengage action. How's that going to look? Pretty, I guess. As they jump back and try to like gain some distance
From
off
him
from him.
towards me.
One of them gets slightly closer to you, kind
Mm-hmm.
of off, but like easily within a walk up and smack range. The
Mm-hmm.
other one has gained additional distance from you.
Okay.
What are you up to?
I am going to.
Smacky smackle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Too bad I don't have
Schmeckety wackety.
disadvantage for hitting him from behind. Okay. I have 2 attacks.
No reason in this moment.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
'Kay.
I really didn't say anything.
That's an @1. Wait. no, I wouldn't waste a bardic inspiration on that. I don't think I can anyways. But I will waste a bardic inspiration on this one.
Good plan.
Which is the 8.
Bad plan, good plan.
Yeah. So it would be a 19.
19. Okay, roll a d6 for the nat 1.
Of course.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 6.
Okay. So your fist or foot or whatever was doing the first waka waka goes up, and you just feel this crunch as the bones in whatever limb was flung in this direction hit something extremely hard in their gear. It's not armor, but it's something that just like crushes your fist for a second. It's going to leave it. It's going to leave that arm lame.
Okay.
Or foot or whatever you're using.
Yeah.
You've got 4 limbs. You choose which limb you just smushed. The other one definitely does something terrifying.
5 points of damage.
All right. This individual is looking not so rough because this isn't the one that got really macked around. Okay. But yeah, you definitely gain their attention. That's for certain. Anything else you're going to do? Bonus actions or ask them out for a lunch date?
No, I'm good for now. Okay.
All right. That takes us to you. And what would you like to do, Grand Asher of the Asheriness? As we listen to Asher groan, I just want to remind our viewers that it's really great to go out and support your local arts organizations in any way you can. Local game stores, other places that are recovering from our
Museums, theaters, art
unending
galleries.
such and such. It doesn't even have to cost you anything if you go in for one of the free days. It's extremely beneficial to all of them. And they really appreciate you. I do not, however, suggest joining the Trixie and Asher Fight Club because it sounds painful.
Dance, Cage of Fury. The universe's music will bring you to life.
God.
I am so glad that you have finally achieved full bardic beauty where you create your own objects for dancing ridiculousness.
I cast animating performance on the cage that I missed the guy with.
Yes. And what action are you going to have it do?
I think it takes action after me, right? Or
Yes.
right?
But what action are you going to have it do when it does that?
It's definitely going to do a force-empowered slam on the dude who stabbed me. Like the dude it was supposed to cover up.
Okay, so it's going to go after the one that she's currently engaged with. Okay, cool. I had to remember which way they've gone. Oh, that means it can do the full thing. Okay, cool. So what are you doing besides this, if anything?
Then I'm going to say very loudly the thing that I just wrote on this other column. Where did you go? Oh my god. All right. No time for lameness. Let's get that arm functional. Here's a heal for you. Healing word at the 3rd level.
Wow.
Ability, spell, whack, whack. Caster faith restored in this moment.
Oh my god. Terrible rolls of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I heal you for 9. Trying to heal your arm.
I didn't have her do any damage for that, but I like that the flavor is there for that. I just was laming her for the moment, but I think with that little
I
bit
did
of
take down, didn't I?
no,
6? The 6 damage?
no, that was which body part
Okay,
situation was going to
Oh,
happen.
got it. Okay.
That was not damage. That was you are going to hurt something. What part of your body is going to get hurt? And
Okay,
you
got it.
rolled a 6, which I took to be something that is very important to you. Just so for future reference for that type of thing, if it comes up again. 5 was like something a little important, but not super important for functionality. and so on and so forth, down to a 1, you stubbed your toe sort of mode.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So you've kind of made her feel better. And it is now
Do one of these.
the dancing cabinet of
Doom.
caginess turn to do its thing. Can you roll
Dancing
the
cage of
attack?
doom.
For your dancing.
I don't think does it have a attack bonus.
It does have an attack set up if you go into.
I'm gonna sing the Doom song now.
I need to learn how to use this thing better if I'm going to keep using it. Proficiency bonus. That is
So it's on your spell attack modifier, so that's your plus whatever for spell magic.
it's an 18 hit.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you get to roll 1d10 plus your proficiency bonus for the force damage. In case you don't know, the Bard of Creation is a very fun, creative bard if you get creative enough.
Maybe a little OP.
Nah, not really. It just really depends on how creative you're willing to
That
be.
is a 7 damage.
You can't have a 7 damage. Your proficiency. Oh,
My proficiency is 3. I rolled a 5 damage.
I thought you're. In my head, you're already a couple levels higher. Not foreshadowing at all. All right. So yeah,
Someday
they take that hit. They look like a mess as this cage just bowls them over for a moment. Does the force power slam do anything else? No. That's
Melee weapon attack your spell and no, it's just a force damage hit.
what's cool about it is this cage seems to be flying as it barrels down. and
Flying
hits.
cage of doom.
And then because you're right there, you realize after it hits and knocks this person for a loop for a second, you can see that they look ragged and rough. You realize, kind of look at the bottom of the cage. No, it is flying. As it twitches there in midair, still doing its dance. The dude summoned a flying cage. As far as you're aware. Weirder and
one-up me.
wackier stuff. Who knows? But that is definitely one of the weirder and wackier moments. That's your turn. That they're gonna do their attacks. So the one that's closest to you, who just got bowled over by this thing, is done. They're gonna use their disengage action or disengage as their bonus action, and then they're booking it away. They are trying to run for the hills. They are done with this. Flying cages, crazy little kids who whack people, disengage action. Nope.
Aww.
So you will
wait.
have to catch
Oh
up
no, never mind.
later. You did not use the patient.
No,
You'll
not
have
that,
sentinel.
no.
Reaction, I think she's asking.
No, I would. They disengage, so no,
Oh,
technically.
right, okay.
A target other than you. Oh no. Okay. No,
So-
I was looking at Sentinel.
Oh yeah, sentinels. Get your friends in trouble. Save them, not yourself.
I mean, he technically is in trouble. I am trying to save him.
Yeah, true. The other one, having not been bowled
I'm
over
only
by
bleeding
a
a little bit.
giant cage, is going to try to whack you with his knives again. Because he's an idiot.
What do you think, Waggis?
Ooh, natural 20.
It's gonna hurt.
Natural 20. I'm really
Eric.
Scared.
Natural 20 does hit. In case you
well.
didn't-
It's wrong.
Just in case you needed to know, I just wanted to let you know
Um,
that is higher than my armor.
just in case you were worried, it is a thrown weapon.
It hits me in the face.
10 points of damage.
Ow.
And
I should heal myself at some
I think that they are going to yell out to the other people in the crowd. Help me finish this freak show.
Do I get a response yell?
Sure, why not?
I'm gonna yell, "People of Fisherton, rise up!"
That there's no people of Fisherton
Ah,
around.
they're watching.
No, they're not.
Oh, yeah.
It's just all the guards. Nice idea,
Wish
though.
I could help you out with that, but somebody else had kind of cased the joint a little bit better. It's your turn. You got one booking it away. still within range of another crossbow shot, maybe, but not within range of anything that wouldn't really suck your.
Yeah. Am I close enough
Sprint
to
out.
run to the other one and hit him? Or no?
Kind of same thing with the slightly closer, but same thing. It would definitely use your action and your bonus action, or action in your movement, or if you have a bonus action that you can use, it would give you the distance, but it's definitely going to use double your movement.
Okay, in which case I am going to shoot a crossbow at the one that's fleeing.
Okay.
Uh,
Roll the attack.
that's a nat 1.
Boing! String on your crossbow just breaks.
Okay. I throw it down and I start running towards the other one
Okay.
for my full movement.
Awesome. Asher, that takes it to your turn. You can see that it's almost all over.
I'm assuming the rest
Still
of the
in
crowd
the
doesn't join
pit
in.
of a very negative group, but we'll see what happens.
I would like
Can
to shoot
always
the other
take a
guy. How
moment.
far away from me is he now? Because he disengaged. He's
The one that
near. Or no,
is running from her.
They both jumped away
They
from
both-
you.
They
Yeah,
both
they're
jumped away
both-
from you, and the other one threw a knife at you, and the other one ran away from her. The dancing cage is still around.
yeah. I'm gonna step back away from him, so I'm at least 40 feet away, and then I'm gonna shoot him with my revolver.
It doesn't take you much to walk further away from him to get to a full 40 feet.
That's in that one.
Roll a d6.
Blow up in my face. Pow. That's a. Oh, that's not a 6.
They didn't.
I rolled a 1 on both. I rolled a d4, rolled a 1, and then I rolled the 6 and also rolled a
Well,
1.
on this case, the one is good.
Yay!
You just hear the click, click, and then you can see that something has slid out of place in the gun, and you'll need to spend a little time to fix
Okay.
the gun. So you won't be able to use it for the rest of whatever until you get a chance to fix it. So make sure at some point you do a little tinkering and see if you can't repair it. Anything else you're going to be doing?
I am going to say healing is too slow. Let's try it this way instead. Please just stop bleeding. And I'm going to cast Healing Word 3rd level on myself.
Roll those hit point die and give yourself your health. Make yourself healthy. Okay, we'll start with Runner, who's running.
Running.
Are you having the dancing cage do anything?
Oh, it will slam attack the dude.
It's got to get enough movement going. So
That's 30 feet. Is that close enough?
no, you're not going to be close enough there. You can get it closer to the one that you're at near. So it can be like kind of near you. Maybe even use it to give yourself some coverage from future hits.
Okay. Yeah,
Not
I'll put
that
it.
I'm
I'll
hinting
put
or
it
anything.
between me and the dude. Maybe,
Okay.
For now.
And,
Like
and then next
like this.
round,
It's gonna
if
spin.
that guy doesn't move, you'll be able to try to smack him.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it between us and spinning. So if he tries to throw it, has to go like.
Nauseating.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Cool. The other one's running away. Let's see how intelligent he's being about this. Okay, he gets caught in the same thing. So you see him run, and he kind of seems to hit a place where the other folks are, and just stops. And his body goes slack. The other one is going to try to pull out yet again another knife, but now you got the spinning cage
Man,
of
this dude has a lot of
ridiculousness.
knives.
I loaded him up like a certain friend of ours loaded herself up at one point. This is going to be a disadvantage because, no, you got covered. So that's going to give you an extra 4 points to your AC. So add 4 points to whatever your AC is. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Well, sorry, you got
He
that.
whipped it through my spinning cage.
Yeah, the knife like kind of like perfect moment. And you're going to take 8 points of damage. All right, that's your turn.
Now I have to go.
So the one who is running
Yeah.
seemed to get to something, and then their body just kind of went slack, and they lost all momentum, and they just seemed to be standing there. The one that just threw the knife at him, you had moved closer to, so you could be to them within regular movement.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close in on them.
Okay.
And I am going to attempt to hit them.
Whack-a-mole.
Like a guard.
That's a 13. And that is a 16.
16 exactly hits.
Okay.
Finally, you know the AC.
That's a 6.
Okay, they've been whacked. They're not looking very happy.
Wackus bonkus.
Anything else?
That's all I got. I'm out of key points.
But you have a regular follow-up attack bonus action.
No, I don't.
You look at your bonus actions. It's not Flurry of Blows, but it's just an
You can
regular
disengage.
old
No, I don't have
unarmed strike.
disengage.
just a
But
regular
I can
old
just do
unarmed
another.
strike. It's just
Oh,
another
I
attack
didn't
roll.
know.
Flurry of Blows is a couple of hits, but
Right.
Unarmed
Okay.
strike is just a
I'll do another
wackadoo.
one. Okay. Okay. That's
action economy.
definitely misses.
That is, it's very sad. I have no idea what you rolled, but I feel for you. You rolled a 3. What is it? What is your attack?
10.
Like,
That would be a 10.
Very close.
I mean, if you had had a 6, it would have been beautiful.
No,
You're
that
not.
makes it 10. I only
Oh,
did
that
plus
makes it.
7.
Never mind. Yeah, you're miles away. Never mind. I was
Yeah.
kind of impressed that you had a plus 10, but apparently that's not true.
No.
Your turn.
Yet.
Also, you have Spinning Cabinet of Doom, too, following your turn. What are you doing?
I'm going to shoot him again.
Your
You
gun
can't.
is disabled.
Your
yeah.
gun's broken.
Damn it. I forgot about that.
Got to work on that one.
Knock his ass.
Yes. 100 vicious mockery haiku. I'm going to say, what if I told you that not all stats are dumb stats? Your move, weak dummy.
He chuckles because
Aw.
I rolled a 15 plus his wisdom modifier, and I remember you saying it was 14,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
15.
15. Okay, so he still saves.
Oh, my poor fourth wall break haiku doesn't
But-
hit.
But the poor fourth wall hit does get a chuckle from the dude right before you.
Right before before I smash him with my cage of death.
Roll the attack. Add your
That's a 26.
beautiful roll a d10 plus your proficiency bonus.
Spaceship.
9.
9.
9 damage.
How does this dancing item end the reign of the happy knifer?
I have the grossest idea right now.
Please share.
So the cage still spinning,
Uh-huh.
slams itself into him and just grinds him apart, like into pieces. Because
Like a blender?
Like it spins through him like a blender.
Flinging
Like
body
just-
parts in all directions. A spray. And
Maybe that'll stop the rest of the crowd from joining in.
you hear a very familiar voice in your head say, well, that was unexpected, and kid, you done me proud. I can hold these folks for a bit, but they're about to not wake up ever again unless you tell me something redeeming about them.
This is like the other angry.
The voice in your head sounds like me.
Yeah, but he's referring to the angry crowd that also wants to attack us.
That
Like the
is
rest,
currently
the
all
rest of the
slack.
guards, right?
Nee would like to know if he can kill the rest of these people for us. I think I'm okay with it.
I don't know.
Is it possible to warn them first? Was I out?
There's a pause. And then you hear your voice. Warning sent. Are they running yet? Both of you roll a perception check.
23.
12.
You don't see anybody running because you just happen to be looking the wrong way. Fleeing. Including the one that went slack when they hit the wall. Just fleeing. To the north. Random.
Whatever north means.
In this world, not much. What happens when you have multiple polarities in a planet shifted by something that caused devastation widespread?
Or like guidelines.
Dragons. That's what happens.
Dragons be unleashed.
I'm gonna yell after them and stay out.
Thanks, Nee. They're running now. I just when she yelled that I turned and saw them all running.
You're a kind fool. Go get me that deal. Could really use it right now. And then the connection just seems to be going dead, but you...
Okay, we're working on it. Trying to help some people. See you later. Thanks again. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
How many words of messages? Bye.
I feel like the longer you bye, and I feel like eventually you feel it cut off, but like that last one was a long bye. Yeah. So
No.
he's used up all of
And now
their
I
spell
just
slots for the day.
now I just drop down to one knee because I'm at half my health. I'm like, ugh.
With the parting of people, you both have a moment to recover, check each other out, check out the area, check out the corpses that are left behind.
Oh, I am rummaging through that shit.
Okay, yeah. It's mostly garbage, but it's garbage that might be useful to you. You find a ton of knives on one of them, because even though they threw a ton, they still had a ton. And you see that they have, let's see how many are left. Let's just have fun with this. They have 11 knives still on their person that you're able to easily getting too intrepid in your explorations.
Can you use these?
Not really. We could sell them maybe.
Yeah,
Give them to someone.
Yeah, maybe Bonnie can use them. I have darts. I don't think.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna fix my gun.
Start tinkering with your gun. Go ahead and roll a I had this in my head earlier. It's a dexterity check just to see how careful you can be. Do you have proficiency in any sort of tinkering tools or?
No, all my proficiencies are instruments
Okay, cool.
and persuasion and acrobatics.
I would see if I could find whatever it is that I crushed my hand against accidentally.
As you dig around on that particular body, go ahead and roll an investigation check first to see what craziness you have.
15 on the dex check.
Yeah, you're able to easily get that little piece back into place. It's frustrating because this is something that would have taken concentration you couldn't fix in the moment. And you can kind of see like how it's set up and arranged. And when you click it back in, you're like, this takes too long to fix in the heat of battle, but maybe there's a way to redesign this or figure this out, because why should it do that type of thing? And oh, no, wrong button. Come on, Rurik, you know how to touch buttons here. Okay, let's go with this.
I got a 15 on my investigation check.
Awesome. Let me So many buttons. That's fine. Pushing buttons too slow.
This pause is brought to you by our sponsor. Just kidding, we don't have a sponsor. But if you'd like to be our sponsor, please sponsor us. Thank you. Now back to our game. The second pause is brought to you by our other sponsor.
That we still don't have. So if you'd like to take that other sponsor spot, please sponsor.
Did I mention this episode is brought to you by?
Turtle wax. Vitamina Vegemin.
Vitamina Vegemin? I like that. All right. You find... My eye's flipping around. A bunch of wackadoo weirdness.
Sounds about right.
You find a pouch that seems to be filled with the monetary value and like straight up, these are Overton pieces of 8,000 silver pieces. That's what hurt.
Ouch.
Probably stolen from the townspeople.
You also find a chalcedony worth 80 gold pieces.
A what?
Gem.
Okay.
And a jasper worth 30 gold.
Cool. I'm gonna try to remember how to. Okay.
Okay.
It was pretty.
What was the second jewel? Jasper.
Jasper.
Worth what?
30.
30. And the other one, how do you spell it?
Chalcedony.
I only know that word because it was a crafting material in World of Warcraft.
That's why I put it there. It's on my list of table things.
How much?
80.
80.
So it's a hunk of one.
Hunka.
Hunka burning Chalcedony.
So is that technically 80 or 8,000 silver pieces, like MSRP? I don't know, like, because I know Fisherton doesn't use Overton money, right?
This is Overton money. It straight up looks like Overton money. Somehow they got their hands on Overton funds.
Okay.
What's the ratio? That's 800 gold?
Right. The more question is, like, what's the actual, like, value that I can put in my inventory?
Type 8,000 silver.
8,000 silver pieces.
Okay.
You literally have 8,000 silver pieces. It's heavy. It's a lot. It's going to be a problem.
Okay.
What are you up to as she's counting out her silver?
Fix my gun.
That's insane.
Look over at my spinning cage. Be like,
That's so much silver.
that was gross. Thanks.
It's just following you around for the next 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, I think we'll
Chilling with you.
make sure this is settled before we dismiss the spinning cage of death. I am going to. I guess I will also like loot some bodies, but also like look around because this is where they all hang out. Like, is there a chest or like any kind of?
You can see that the bodies, the two barbarians, they were outfitted. There's their axe, the club. That's kind of it. The two more. I mean, she's already kind of gone through their stuff and found their pieces of weaponry and more daggers. It's like they're the dagger loot of the day. But what you can also see is now that all the space is cleared out, the buildings around here were very much claimed by this group. And one of them in particular looks like it was better taken care of than the others.
I'm gonna walk in there like with my gun, like out in front of me, just in case somebody's in there.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check as you go in.
18.
Yeah, with an 18, kind of looking around, looking inside, and listening closely, nobody's here. If there had been anybody in here, they've cleared out. And you can't hear or see anyone.
Okay, I'm gonna look around. Is there any kind of treasure.
Roll an investigation check.
Damn it. That's
It's mostly for how long it takes them.
4.
Takes them a long time.
That's
A
actually
long time.
perfect because I was gonna start dragging like all of the stuff that was around, like just out of the square, like just piling it up somewhere. But I was gonna start dragging out all of like anything to do with the guards, whatever, any shanties or any sort of accumulation of shit. I am going to like just bleeding and whatever. I'm just gonna start dragging it and like throwing it out of the square and trying to clean out the square.
Okay.
And then once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna lay down like, and
So she's also taking a long time.
yes,
So what you find is eventually you find something that just makes you super excited. It's a book of poems.
Hey.
And it's going to be the equivalent of if you had found an arcane scroll of magic mouth,
Okay.
as well as 160 gold pieces.
Mine's lighter than yours.
You also find a scroll that appears to have symbols very similar to the symbols that Tanzanite wears and pays homage to.
supposedly.
Yeah. Or maybe for real. Who knows?
Or her sister.
One or the other. But you find what looks like a religious accompaniment to one that you found that will, in the end, be the, for D&D terms, the item equivalent of the arcane scroll Magic Mouth, which you could read and we'll talk about what you might actually do with that, or just use. And then the other one would require a little bit more of an investigation to figure out what exactly it does or is. Okay. It is 10:47. I am a terrible human being keeping my friends up late, but we were in.
Yes.
There was treasure.
Yes. I agreed.
So we are done for the night. Another long night.
Yay.
It made sense.
We are going to outro mode. Good night to all, and to all a
Thanks
terrifying
for sticking
story.
with us. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the bell so you get the notifications, and you can find the podcast version of this live stream on all podcast platforms.
Yes, look for demisecast.com for easy access to your
Why
button
are we doing
clickers.
this accent? Would you like to buy some vodka?
Because it's peach.
This is an homage to an origin that is no longer origin. It is gone, long gone, and toast. A ghost in a toast.